What's good? What's good? What's good, fans? Thank you guys for tuning in to week 315, Cleveland, of the Voice of the Fans podcast. Want to say what's up to my good folks across the nation, from the Northwest to the Southeast, Cleveland. What's the weather like up in the Northwest today? Give us a weather report.
Yeah, Cam, it was cold and rainy to kind of start out the day, and then it cleared up. Pleasant sunny skies.
Yeah, I see you got a thick sweatshirt on. It didn't warm up that much.
Yeah,
it didn't warm up that much.
Yeah, 50.
Oh, well, it's 80, and it was a weird thing that happened. It was a weird thing that happened today. In the front window, I saw a bunch of a rainstorm about 9:30, 10 o'clock this morning, and looking out the back window, we had sunny skies. So it was a little mixture of both down here, but it hovered right around 78 degrees today. So you get a little bit of both down here in the Alabama flatlands, if you will. So that was pretty interesting. But we got a lot to talk about today. We got a lot. I mean, we're going to talk about obviously the NFL, obviously the NBA. I'm going to go on a tangent, Cleveland. As a sports fan, Cleveland, I think we hear the word unbelievable far too often. And so much we hear it so often that it kind of loses its impact. When somebody, oh, that's unbelievable. What an unbelievable pass, unbelievable play. Yeah, I think we hear it so often that it loses the impact. I don't even like to use the word. I think it's way overused. But today, we're going to talk about some stuff that was truly unbelievable. It was truly unbelievable. So we're going to talk about that, Cleveland. We're going to talk about we're going to talk a little bit about the Dolphins. The Dolphins just putrid. They just really stink. They just absolutely stink. Cleveland, what are the Seahawks record? Are they 1-4, 1-5 in the last 6 weeks? What's their record? I'm not sure.
They are 1-5 in the last 6 games. Yes.
We're gonna touch on that too. I'm gonna get Cleveland fans. Today. He can't. He has to agree with this. I'm not sure that he ever held him to the wall again. I'm not sure I ever pressed him against the wall for this, for his assertion or his agreement or disagreement on his comment. But we're gonna get to today. Cleveland has to admit that the Kansas City Chiefs are the best team in the NFL, and the Kansas City Chiefs are working on the three-peat. He's gonna have to admit that today. He can't. I'm interested to see what he's gonna say, what other type of stuff he's gonna come out with. But today, Cleveland's gonna be pressed to the wall on Kansas City Street. We already know Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the NFL. That he has seen, I have seen. He's the best quarterback that we've seen. But he's gonna have to admit today that these guys are working on the three-peat. We're gonna talk about boxing. Something happened in the world of boxing today, Cleveland. I mean, it's one of those moments where you have to remember exactly where you were when this happened. When you saw this happen, you have to be like, "Oh my God, we've never seen this before." It could be another unbelievable moment, Cleveland. But we're gonna when we get to this week in history, we're gonna talk about that as well. We got a lot to talk about. I want to get Cleveland's understanding of the baseball offseason. Shohei Ohtani, how his surgery impacts him. We're gonna have to talk about that as well, Cleveland. But like we do each and every week, I promised you guys an edited version of our intro. It hasn't come yet, but for now, just enjoy this one. Enjoy this what we got here. So we get started with the intro. Come back, we're gonna get to everything: the NBA, NFL, Major League Baseball, boxing. We're gonna talk about it all here in a minute. But let's now just welcome the show. We're gonna kick off the show with our intro. Same old intro. Here we go.
Am I speaking to right now?
Cameron.
My name is
Cameron.
Cam Buford. Hey, it's Peter Rosenberg. I'm hanging on my man Cameron Buford.
I'm a Dolphin fan.
This is a big year for Tua to prove that he's a franchise quarterback.
I'm more a fan of boxing. Boxing is my main sport.
All we want to see every year
are the best two mothers getting in the ring and getting on.
Best team to fight the best. Somehow we got away from that because guys are trying to protect their record.
Think about it like this: the promoter pays the fighter pays the manager.
Okay.
So the manager works for the fighter, and the fighter works
for the promoter. Okay.
Talk about that loyalty for a moment. I'm standing there trying to make a change. You know, give back to the youth, give back to my community, and show them that there is hope that you can make it out. You know, only thing is you just gotta be dedicated. You gotta keep your head down and stay on this course that you're heading towards.
You know it.
So you are lifting weights currently?
When he said it's easier to score in the NBA versus Europe, did you agree with them?
To me, it's easy to score all over the world.
Can I finish right now? Do you want me to speak or do you want to conduct the interview and answer for me? Which one?
What do you think about these type of
Aaron, like I was saying before.
Aaron, what has the game of baseball taught you?
One of the biggest things is being humble.
Can you give a message to the kids to kind of persevere through the false teachings they may be giving?
Patience.
Okay.
Patience.
As the show voice of the fan
Oh my goodness!
continues
gracious. I'm
to
in
evolve,
tears.
You were adding some spice to it.
it is strictly banter back and forth between myself and Cameron Buford.
I enjoy all of it.
The real ones know what's going on, right?
Like you said, Pacific Northwest. So, I think it's a big part of my game. And every time I step on the floor, I just want to represent myself.
You play this game and you don't turn to win a championship, then why are you playing for?
I'm happy for the Mariners. I'm happy
Yeah,
for the whole
yeah,
Texans.
no, yeah,
I was
Cam,
trying to send them
nobody.
Never mind.
Go watch the tape. Go watch the tape, and then you tell me if it was all about just a system.
You look like a buffoon.
Go do your research. Go do your study.
You played against Michael Jordan, and you said LeBron is the best player in the history of the game? Did you guys hear that?
Oh, this guy.
It's okay.
That's what's good in sports, man. It's the big Snoop Dogg, man.
That's what's good in sport.
Thank you for making our voice your choice.
And really appreciate you listening to the Voice of the Fans podcast. Check it out every single week.
What up, Snoop? My dog Snoop. What's good with you? What's good with you, big dog? Cleveland, like I said, man, we got a lot to talk about this week. Again, with it being November 6th, 2024, week 315 of the Voice of the Fans podcast. We thank you guys for tuning in and enjoy the show. We got a lot to get into. But we start every week, fans, with our numbers game. At the beginning of the show, we play our numbers game. With it being November 6th, 2024, week 315, Cleveland. When you think of the number 6, who wore that jersey number the best, or who comes to your mind first?
You know, Cam, who comes to mind first is Julius Dr. J. Irving. He's one of the idols of my childhood, but who wore it the best is LeBron James.
Julius the Dr. Irving. You had it right the first time. So when you think of the number 15, I know you're not going to give no love to Anthony Allen. Anthony Allen, I'm going to throw his name out there first. Who wore that jersey number the best? Come to your mind first when you think of the number 15.
You know, Cam, we're in the midst of football season, and who comes to mind first is Patrick Mahomes, and right now, feels like he's probably wore that number the best so far.
You question that? Did Jeff Hostetler come to your mind first, or for some reason you think he might have wore it better than old Patrick?
No, that's why I said Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes. That's an obvious thing. Well, Cleveland, this week in NFL, I mean, did Patrick Mahomes did they against the Bucks on Monday Night Football? I mean, did they surprise you with their comeback win? Should the Bucks have went for 2? When they tied it up late in the game, should the Bucks have went for 2 and try to end the game there? Because giving the ball back to Patrick Mahomes is kind of death, and you saw that kind of on Baker Mayfield's face when they lost the toss. He was like, "Oh my goodness, we're not gonna get it back." Should the Bucks have went for 2 against the defending champions.
No, I don't think so, Cam. I think Todd Bowles flipped a coin. What's better? Is my offense better right now, or is my defense better right now? And his offense, he didn't have his two top receivers. Man, let's put it on the defense and try and hold him and keep the game going. If I go for this 2 right here and don't convert, well, I mean the game's over.
Come on, you can't be thinking if I don't get it, if I go for 2 and don't get it, you got to have some confidence in your team to get
that's the whole point. Going for it or not going for it, Cameron. What are the chances of me getting the 2-point conversion? If I don't get it, game's over. Prolonged game.
If you give it to it was a long fought game, you give it back to Patrick Mahomes. You don't get the ball game, and you go home. Your whole offensive squad standing on the sideline in the rain the rest of the game. They don't get a chance to do their thing. So I think I kind of think they should have went for 2. I understand playing it safe. He's a defensive coach. He wants to he wanted to play safe and be conservative, but you got to go. You had the defending champs. I don't want to say on the ropes, but you had a chance to win the game. Go for the win. Go for the win. That's what I said. That's what I would suggest in that situation against a defending champ. Now, if they're playing the Colts, if they're playing the Redskins, the Commanders, if they're playing the Giants, yeah, okay, you go for you kick the field goal and then you see what happens in overtime. But when you're playing the defending champs, go for the win. Go for the juggler. You have to do that, in my opinion. Now, I asked you this question last season. When, for whatever reason, DeAndre Hopkins decided to sign with the Tennessee Titans, do you think he regrets now, after he's had a couple of weeks in Kansas City, and it hasn't really gotten chilly cold in Kansas City? They haven't had the Arctic breeze flowing quite yet. Do you think he regrets not signing with the Chiefs last season? And he would be wearing a ring right now.
177%, bro. He regrets it. I mean, he looked at the landscape of, who could really utilize his services and what would be the best fit for him. And yeah, certainly he probably would have had a Super Bowl ring had he, taking your advice and went to Kansas City last year.
I still like that. That's a unsolved mystery. Why the heck did he sign? I mean, did he have a girl? Did he have a girlfriend on the side in Tennessee? I mean, did somebody have pictures of him or something? What did they hold over his head in Tennessee to make him choose Tennessee Titans and the rookie quarterback versus going to play with Patrick Mahomes? I mean, that's an unsolved mystery that, at some point somebody's going to have to do some journalistic work and identify what the heck he was thinking about. What were your most impressive wins of the week? Again, I thought the Bucs should have went for 2, but that would have been an impressive win if the Bucs go for 2 and they beat the defending champions, giving them the first loss of the season. I thought that would have been an impressive win, but the Falcons over the Cowboys, just their domination. It wasn't just a win; it was a domination. I want to say bad loss. Was that a worse loss by the Cowboys or a good win by the Falcons? What do you think in that scenario?
So it was a better win by the Falcons than a worse loss by the Cowboys. Okay. I think with regards to the best win of the weekend, I'm going to have to say the Carolina Panthers, because whoever thought they were going to win another game again.
Well, speaking of that game, I had the Saints losing to the Packers as the worst loss, or the Panthers as the worst loss of the season. I mean, the Saints jumped off to a 2-0 start, scored more points than anybody scored in the first 2 weeks of the season, and they haven't done crap since. I mean, they did talking about come back to reality. They got a reality check real quick, right? And so much so the coach gets fired. Was that a worthy firing of the coach? Would you have let him stay the season, or would you let him try to get things back on track? What do you think about the Saints unloading Dennis Allen?
No, I'm okay with that. I mean, you start out 2-0, score, averaging 43 points a game, and then you lose your next 7 games. And the last one being to the lowly Carolina Panthers. Wow, that's just inexcusable.
Well, come on.
The only game the Panthers have won is that one game Andy Dalton got interjected into the offense, and they went to Las Vegas and beat the Raiders. It's the only win of the season.
I mean, so Bryce Young had a chance to sit on the sidelines and kind of watch and observe the veteran at work, and then he gets his time to get back in the game, and then he shows that he's actually learned something. Or was the Saints just that bad?
Saints just that bad, yeah.
No love for Bryce Young. Huh? No. The best win of the weekend, I had this going the other way. I mean, let me check. I think I had the Lions winning their division. No, I had the Packers winning their division, to be honest, at the beginning of the season. The Lions went to Green Bay and just put the smack down on the Packers. Better Lions or bad Jordan Love?
Better Lions. Yeah, they're clicking on all cylinders right now and look at the best team in the NFL.
Yeah, I had the Packers. I had the Packers winning that division. Cleveland, you had the Lions winning that division. You're comfortable with that pick, obviously, from the way that game looked, right?
For sure. Yeah.
We're gonna get to it later on. Let me ask you right now: is Jared Goff in the MVP category?
No.
Is he in the MVP conversation?
No, he is not.
Oh, see how you do. See, you don't want to give. Why? How come Jared Goff leading the? The Lions looking like the best team in the NFL. Why can't he get any love Why can't he get any love in the MVP category? I mean, it is week 9, so we still have 8 weeks to go. Why can't you give Jared Goff any love in the MVP conversation?
Because there's 3, if not at least 4 other players that are more deserved of the accolades for being the NFL MVP.
My notepad is downstairs. Do you care? I mean, I was going to ask you about the MVP category later on, but do you want to mention which players you have in the MVP category aside from Jared Goff?
Sure. LeBron Jackson is in the conversation. Derrick Henry is in the conversation. They may split votes. We're not quite sure how that's going to, play itself out.
Ding, 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 ding. That's it right there. That's why neither one of those is going to win the MVP.
Sure. So Patrick Mahomes is in the conversation. Josh Allen is in the conversation. And perhaps some other rookie quarterback, depending on
rookie quarterback. Oh, is that the guy in Chicago? The guy in Chicago who's going to lead them, who's going to potentially lead those Chicago Bears to the Super Bowl? Wasn't that your prediction? Oh, you don't want to admit to making that prediction? It's also quiet, Cleveland. Why are you so quiet over there?
You asked me a question. I answered your question. I thought that was in the conversation.
Well, you said a rookie quarterback. I thought you were talking about your guy Caleb. I thought you were talking about your guy Caleb sneaking into the MVP conversation. Is he not in the conversation no more? All of a sudden, you turning on Caleb?
I'm not turning on Barry. I'm not turning on Caleb whatsoever. I mean, they're 4-4. They still have a legitimate chance to make the playoffs. You asked a question, and I answered your question. That's simple.
Okay, so right back to this MVP conversation. You have the same 5 guys I mentioned, who I believe I believe Goff should be in the MVP conversation. I believe he's playing that good. He's actually on pace to lead, to break Drew Brees' completion percentage record on the season. Again, we do have 8 weeks to go. Okay, fans. So I don't mean to jump so far ahead, but Drew Brees, I think, completed 74% of his passes in his MVP season. Jared Goff is on pace to complete 76% of his passes. Again, they play indoors, So most of his games is going to be indoors.
So do the Saints. So yeah, sure.
Okay, so do the Saints. How the Saints doing? How the Saints doing? You just the Saints just fired their head coach.
You're making the comparison to the Drew Brees record, and I was just saying that Drew Brees also played indoors. That's all.
I'm not sure. I'd have to go back and look at it. This season, I know Jared Goff is playing 13 of his 17 games are going to be indoors. So I say that to say that him breaking Drew Brees' passing completion percentage record is very viable. It's very doable because he's not going to be, he don't have to go to Buffalo. He doesn't have to go to Philadelphia. He doesn't have to go to play in Pittsburgh. He's not playing in these bad weather cities. He doesn't have to go to New England where, he's going to do a game where he's 10 for 30. He's not going to have that situation. He's going to be indoors, and he has a viable chance of breaking that record. That's why I bring that specific record up. Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson is playing great. He's playing great. He has a. We said this at the beginning of the season. He hasn't had this many tools at his disposal in his career. He's already won the MVP 2 times already, and some people can argue that he's playing better this year as a quarterback than he's played in those MVP seasons. But you mentioned Derrick Henry's halfway to 2,000 already, 9 weeks into the season. I think they're going to cannibalize some votes. Not that either one of it is not worthy of it. I just think they're going to take away from each other. Patrick Mahomes, if they go undefeated, they're going to have to, you're going to have to get some serious recognition for the MVP award, even though he's not playing nearly. This is his worst statistical season of his career. Josh Allen. Fans, I haven't been a Josh Allen fan. Haven't even been willing to toot Josh Allen's horn. However, Josh Allen isn't getting it done this season. Josh Allen is flat out getting it done this season. They're walking away with the AFC East. That's not even a competition. So he's gonna. This is gonna be in a situation where they can rest him 2 or 3 games towards the end of the season. I doubt they will, but they'll be in a situation where they could potentially rest Josh Allen, and that might be the only thing preventing him from winning the MVP this season if they end up resting him. But Josh Allen is getting it done right now. I think Josh Allen is leading the clubhouse for the most valuable player in an NFL season this year. Would you agree or disagree with that?
Would disagree. I think Lamar Jackson is the front runner at this point.
Lamar, even with Derrick Henry, you don't think they're taking away votes from each other?
They may, detract from one another to a certain extent, but I still think that right now he's head and shoulders the MVP of the league.
The Raiders fired their offensive coordinator this year, and then they bring in North Turner. Talking about going to the well. What has Norv been doing? Has he been on a boat chilling somewhere? What has Norv Turner been doing since the 1996 Cowboys Super Bowl? What has he been doing?
He's been scouting the NFL. He understands. He just wants to interject his knowledge and his innovative scheme into the game right now.
I know he's been a coach since then, fan. So don't jump into Twitter and tell me all the teams he's coaching, where he's been. I know he's been coaching since 1996, but he hasn't been. I could tell you, literally the last 5 years. Has he got off the couch in the last 5 years? Has he put on an NFL jersey or hat?
Cameron, he's always watching film. He's always engaged.
Oh, like Mark McCarthy was. When Mark McCarthy was out, he was watching film, watching every game, scouting every game, huh? Mm-hmm. And we see how that's working for Mike McCarthy, right?
He's had some trials and tribulations, but that's what Norv has been doing. I know Norv. He's
you know Norv.
He's a Jimmy Johnson disciple.
Well, that's all you know about Norv. That's the only thing you can give Norv, and it was effective. But it was effective. That's like saying Phil Jackson, could just come in and coach the the Detroit Pistons and make them NBA Eastern Conference Finals.
Not be the head coach. Not be the head coach. Just run the offense.
Okay. Well, we'll see. We'll see how. Let's keep an eye on North Turner with the. I mean, come on. Who's the quarterback? Who's the quarterback in Las Vegas?
I don't know.
Exactly. You do know. I know you know who it is. I know you know who it is. But either one of those guys don't move the needle.
I think it's number 15.
Yeah, see, I know you know who it is, but I mean, if North can get this guy turned around, he might have a whole another career to hang his hat on if he can get this guy turned around. Come on now. Looky here. The second baseman, halfway through the season, has led his team to the NFC West first place in the division. Is this sustainable, Cleveland? I know this was unexpected. It was unexpected for me, and I know it has unexpected for you. Is this sustainable?
No.
Yeah, there's a certain somebody coming back to gameplay that's suiting up this weekend. Who is that, Cleveland?
Who is coming back to suit up for gameplay this weekend?
Yeah, who's coming back to suit up in the NFC West? There's a running back. Oh, your guy, the special teams player. He's suiting up this weekend. What kind of difference is he going to make in San Fran when he puts on the number 23 jersey?
Oh, I just heard he was practicing back from Europe and his mysterious
the PRP
surgery,
treatment. The PRP treatment.
I believe the person you're referring to is still listed as questionable, doubtful.
No, he's suiting up this weekend.
Okay, I hadn't heard that. So
he's suiting up. He's suiting up this weekend. So, Brock Purdy made sent out the bat signal, and so he's suiting up this weekend. We're gonna see what's going down. You refuse to say the Lions are the best team in the NFL, huh? Are they the best team? Would you give them the best team in the NFC?
Yes, for sure.
Okay. I didn't. I'm gonna check. I'm gonna check fans real quick on who Cleveland had winning the NFC. But I don't think he had the Cowboys winning the NFC.
No, I had the San Francisco 49ers winning the NFC, Cam.
You know who had the Cowboys? We're gonna have to get them on the horn next week. You know who had the Cowboys winning the NFC or going to the NFC Championship was Mr. Eric Williams had the 49ers versus the Cowboys. Yeah, we're gonna have to get him on the horn next week. See, Eric, how's that pick going for you? I did have the Cowboys better than the Commanders, better than the Giants, and they absolutely look putrid. What do you see? What do you see is going wrong with the Cowboys right now?
Injury issues and issues on the offensive line. They can't rush the quarterback, can't stop the run.
You said offensive line, then you go to rush the quarterback. Those are two different positions.
No, I said two different things. I said they have trouble with the offensive line. They have trouble rushing the quarterback. And in addition, they have trouble stopping the run. So now that they're starting quarterback, the highest paid player in the history of the NFL, is out for 4 games, and CeeDee Lamb is, week to week, I don't see them making the playoffs. So,
does Podcast Parsons have anything to do with this?
I mean, certainly you can see, how they play in his absence. So, yeah, him not being on the field has a lot to do with this.
So they can't get it done without Podcast Parsons. So will he change it? Will he stem the tide then? That's the guy who they say they're practicing. He didn't commit to playing this week. He just said he's practicing. If he comes back, he's gonna be full go. But he wasn't. He was uncommittal about playing this weekend. If he plays this weekend, does he change him around? Podcast.
Cameron, I'm not going to say that Micah Parsons is the savior and that if he plays, they'll win, and if he doesn't play, they're going to lose, which is kind of where you were trying to set me up for that. But no, I'm not going to put all that on Micah right now.
Well, I'm asking. I mean, you said they can't stop the run, they can't rush the passer.
That's exactly what you were asking me to do. And I'm just saying I'm not going to fall for the banana in the tailpipe, and I'm not going for that.
So Trey Lance or Cooper Rush? Who would you rather see, Trey Lance or Cooper Rush?
Man, let's see Cooper Rush.
Cooper Rush, huh? Not Trey Lance. You don't care to see about that. Now, what does it say when your quarterback, the highest paid player in the NFL right now, says lips mouths the word "we suck"? How do you think that resonates with the owner?
They should all feel that way. They do suck right now. Nowhere near the Super Bowl aspirations they had when they came out of preseason.
Okay. What about now I'm gonna force you to make a pick right here. Would you rather finish the season with Drake May or Bo Nix?
Drake May.
Oh, Drake May. All right. Still holding that grudge against Bo Nix because he had the orange and green or the yellow and green on, huh?
No grudge.
Who has a better career, Drake May or Bo Nix?
Drake May.
He's still holding a grudge against Bo Nix. I mean, he just went to school there, man. Like he didn't form the university. Why you bashing on Bo Nix like this?
Yeah, you asked a question between the two quarterbacks. I just named the quarterback that I felt the most confident in. Is all.
And why do you feel the most confident in
more arm talent? More arm talent.
Interesting. Are the Eagles back? Cleveland? I mean, although AJ Brown went down again, he's killing my fantasy football team this year. I mean, dude, we're week 9. He played 2 games. Come on, man. Are the Eagles back? You see your quarterback running around there making plays. You got the running back out there doing his thing. You got. I did not expect, even though he was a Heisman Trophy winner, I didn't expect Devin Smith to be this good in the NFL. Did you expect this, Cleveland?
Did not expect Devontae Smith to have that type of impact. And
thank you. Thanks for clearing that up.
No problem. And obviously Saquon doing that ninja stuff, jumping over people backwards, like it's an action film.
Hold on. We're gonna get to that one. Don't spoil it. Okay. We're gonna get to that one.
Sorry for spoiler alert, but to answer your question, no.
I did not expect Devontae Smith to be this good. I thought he'd be a complimentary player, a speedster, stretch the field, obviously. But this guy makes plays every game. He's jumping out on the field. Now, again, he did with the Heisman Trophy, but that was college football. I'm very impressed with his progression and what he's able to do.
But to answer your other question, I put Philadelphia in that same basket that I put the Ravens and the Buffalo Bills. It's like, wow, at times they can look magnificent, but at times it's like, what are we doing out here? No consistency to their greatness. Their ceiling is really, really high, but their floor is really, really low as well. It's not playoff caliber.
You don't have them so are you saying you don't have them in the playoffs, or?
No, I'm saying they, at present,
you're not sure what you're gonna get from them. You're not sure what you're gonna get from them.
You're not. And at their worst, they're really, really bad. At their best, wow, Super Bowl contenders. But at their worst, they might lose to the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, that's fair. That they are up and down. I don't think whether it's the head coaching, where's the changes that they make. I mean, they seem to lack that killer instinct. Just kind of put you away. But they have all the tools. If they, you catch them on a good day, as you mentioned, they have all the tools to put in dazzling performance on. But yes, they're kind of a Jekyll and Hyde, if you will. But I think all in all, I think they're still a really good team. I think they're a really good team. I had them winning. I had them winning that division, and it was. I don't think it was it was a fairly easy choice to win the NFC. Yes, I had them winning the division. You had them winning the division easy. I just don't think. I don't think that division is very good. I don't think the Commanders can beat them. Not in the playoffs. Not in the playoff situation. But nonetheless, you're very right. They are kind of a feast or famine squad, right?
For sure.
And speaking of those Commanders, well, Jason Kelsey, did you hear his little BS apology? Did you hear that? I mean, if that, why? I understand he's on ESPN. I understand they're on Monday Night Football, but that apology, that was a watered down, soggy, wet tissue type of apology. I don't get it. I don't even understand why they stopped the show, why they started the show off with that apology. I thought it was again watered down, a wet tissue type of apology. But nonetheless, how surprised are you by Jaden Daniels?
Very surprised. I didn't think that he would be able to have a lot of success in the NFL. I thought that his numbers were inflated and watered down. How should I say this?
Inflated and watered down in SEC?
I thought that his numbers were inflated and that his success was somewhat exaggerated, given the competition that he was able to kind of pull those numbers off.
SEC, he was exaggerated?
If you look at the numbers, the majority of his big numbers came against teams that were inferior opponents, which kind of led to his Heisman Trophy winning. I didn't think
there was an argument there. That was an argument, legitimate argument out there. But talent is talent. You play in the SEC. I mean, did
not think that his talents or his success would translate to the NFL level, and it has.
Before we get into a review of the week, the picks, let's talk about these trades that hit the NFL this week. Cleveland, did you what was a trade, the most significant trade, I would ask you, that was made this week?
I would have to say Ladarius Smith going to the Detroit Lions, kind of being a stopgap for Aiden Hutchinson. Not sure if he can come back if the Detroit Lions make a Super Bowl run. If not, I mean, at least somebody that can replicate some of that production.
And the thing about Smith going to the Lions is that a couple of things about that. I thought it was a great move for the Lions to be able to get him, even though Hutchinson went down a few weeks ago. I would have thought somebody else in the league kind of would have, jumped in the way and tried to pick him up from the Browns, because it only went for a 5th and a 6th round pick. So I thought somebody else would kind of snubbed him away. But the thing about him is he's able to play all the way across the line, all the way across the defensive line. Hutchinson was an edge rusher. So with him, if now they have that ability to when Hutchinson come back, if he come back to full strength, now they're able to team them up both on the left side, both on the right side, depending on how they want to play that. Put him on the right side and have Hutchinson come off the left side. Now they have a lot of flexibility with Smith coming off, and they have him for a couple years, so that's going to be good. That's interesting. Cleveland, I thought you would be more interested in Mike Williams going to the Steelers for a 5th round pick. What do you feel about that one? I thought that was the one you were going to lean on.
He dropped a lot of passes in New York, and there's a reason he's no longer with the Chargers, so they didn't want him anymore. So,
well, he was making $20 million.
Okay, well, there was a reason that initially they thought he was worth that, and then they found out he wasn't, which is why he's no longer a Charger. So,
so you're not expecting much from.
I mean, he might catch a moon ball or two. I mean, Russ throws a lot of, throws a good moon ball and throws a lot of them. So he might catch 3 or 4 of them over the course of the season. But yeah, I'm not. Yeah,
So you're not picking him up on your fantasy squad?
No.
Okay. The Commanders going after Lattimore from the Saints. Now that was a three picks, a third, a fourth, and a sixth. I think the sixth is next year. What do you think about the Commanders picking up Lattimore, and how does that, because the Commanders were outscoring you. They're 31-27, 38-35. Now they got a legitimate cornerback to slow down the opposing team's wide receivers. What do you think about that move? Good move, or is that a difference maker?
I'm not sure how much of a difference maker Marshawn Lattimore is. I think they gave up a lot to get him. But, I feel like they think that they're all in right now. And, yeah, why not get a shutdown corner if you can get him?
Why not? Why not go for it? Yeah, I think that, go for it. You got this quarterback, and everybody wants to run this. We got a rookie quarterback. Let's push all the chips to the middle of the table and see what we can do with it. I mean, I think I don't mind Jaden Daniels. I thought Jaden Daniels was going to be okay in the NFL. Certainly thought he was going to have a better rookie season than the other rookie quarterback who got a lot of recognition coming into the season. All of a sudden we don't hear nothing from him. And in fact, the Bears now are sellers. And they're sellers at this point of the season. So I'm not sure he's. I don't think they're going to be a threat in the playoffs, but we'll see. I mean, he's had a much better season than anybody anticipated, and let's see how far they can take this thing. But as we mentioned, the Bears are being sellers. They send Khalil Herbert to the Bengals for a 7th round pick. Surprising. Like, Cowboys should have been on the 7th round. Herbert versus Mingo, who they went and got for a 7th round pick. What do you think about that? Herbert getting their pick.
Well, I mean, Mingo was a 4th round pick, but Herbert for a 7th round pick. I mean, the Bears got like 17 running backs back there. Yeah, you can have him.
Does he make a difference with the Bengals, who obviously let go Joe Mixon?
Well, he will certainly make a difference because as of at present, they don't have a legitimate starting running back and not a lot of depth. So yeah, for sure.
Well, Chase Brown's still there, right?
Certainly he is, but he's proven not to be an every down back. So yeah, having Herbert come in to kind of take the bulk of the carries for sure.
Well, I mean, come on, Chase Brown. We knew he wasn't going to be Derrick Henry, or I could have told you he wasn't going to be Derrick Henry. It's kind of that.
Okay, but in the absence of Zach Moss, yeah, it was a great trade. Yeah, you have some depth, and you have someone to carry, handle the bulk of the carries, the hard yards.
The Ravens getting Javarius White from the Rams for a 7th round pick in 26 and 27. What's your thoughts on that one?
That's one of those trades where maybe the Rams know something the Ravens don't.
Oh, wait, are you calling Big Sean McVay shiesty? Are you calling Sean McVay shiesty?
I am saying they faxed over that resume like, ooh, look at that. Look at all that stuff Tre'Davious White has done. Want him?
I mean, the Ravens needed a cornerback.
They did. And they read the resume and it's like, ooh, Tre'Davious White is amazing. And they he sure is. Want him?
Wait. So hold on. You didn't change the conversation. I'm trying to think who's the GM in the NBA who you do not want to do business with, because this guy who this guy just doesn't lose in deals. Are you calling Sean McVay now just the shiesty guy in the NFL who will just make a deal with anybody and you end up losing that deal? Is that where Sean McVay is?
I am not saying that at all. But when you hear a name like Tre'Davious White going for a 7th round pick, that just does not calibrate correctly, right? Like,
I mean, I would be scared to
why
make a deal.
do I only have to give you a 7th round pick for that, dude? Oh,
I would be scared to make a deal with Sean McVay because, I mean, Sean McVay is that guy. most things he touches turn to gold. And if it doesn't work for him, it's probably not going to work for you. Is what I would say. So I would steer clear of when the 2-1-3 calls from the Rams. Well, the Rams they're not 2-3. What is
Are they in Los Angeles?
They're in Los Angeles, but their training facility is further than Tacoma from Seattle. It's 805. It's like Olympia to Seattle.
Oh.
It's 805. That's what it is out there. When you see 805 coming, calling, you might just want to let that go to voicemail, or put that in the junk email file because you're probably not going to win that deal dealing with Sean McVay. The 49ers get Davis, the defensive tackle from the Texans. What the Texans, are they giving up on the season? What's going on?
They are not giving up on the season. They're mere 6-3 and are still leading their division with a lot of other teams that are not that good in that division.
But they should. I mean, sellers. That's being sellers. I didn't expect that from the Texans.
Not fitting in with the scheme. Apparently, him and D'Amico don't get along, which is hard because D'Amico gets along with almost everybody. So,
that should tell you something about Davis, huh?
Yeah.
The Niners. I mean, I think the Niners and John Lynch are a good evaluator of talent for the most part. Obviously, things didn't work out with Trey Lance, and we take those picks that you sent us.
Chase Young.
Ooh, that one still hurts. Where is Chase Young today?
He's with those 2-7 Saints running around trying to misdirection on the wrong direction.
What he's saying, he's taking the quarterback when he's already gave it to the running back. Ooh, that was kind of low. Chase Young. I mean, did you have some money on his Chase Young winning a Super Bowl or something?
No, but didn't everybody think he was going to be a beast coming out of Ohio State?
You were pretty emphatic about that one. I'm not sure. I mean,
I thought he was going to be the second coming, the next one, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. No, not at all. Play action, he's completely lost every single time.
So speaking of Sean McVay, did he just outcoach Mike Macdonald? Are the Seahawks just not there? Is it Geno Smith? Well, talk to us about
this was the first time he actually did not outcoach the coach.
Okay. So what happened on Sunday with the Rams over the Seahawks?
Couple things. Yeah. So first and foremost, Geno Smith made a lot of mistakes and extremely.
Is it Mike Macdonald says it's not all on Geno?
It's not all on Geno.
Okay.
If you throw a pick six, you take those 6 points back. This game's not that close. They missed an extra point in special teams. You go 14-3 instead of 13-3. The math gets way different. They went for it on 4th and 1. 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1. Couldn't get a yard in.
Who did they give it to? Did they give it to Walker or Charbonnet? Just curious.
I think it was a combination of the two, but whatever the case may be, they didn't get the 3 feet.
Ooh, well, this sounds like a salty Seahawks.
Tariq Woolen blew the coverage on the last play of the game, giving up the one-handed, spectacular catch. The center hiked the ball over Geno Smith's head 2 times.
You can't. I mean, the one time the ball did hit Geno in the hands. But you can. I mean, that's not Geno.
Snapped the ball over Geno Smith's head 2 times, which led to negative 50 yards. They had numerous occasions to win that game, and they have no one to blame but themselves.
So the head coach, you still good with the head coach?
He's a little bit over his skis right now, but I think he's starting to. I think he understands that, And I think that everyone around him kind of understands that, but are just kind of giving him the leeway to kind of grow and mature, kind of learn, on the job, so to speak. And, sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. I thought he made great adjustments in the run defense. Those guys did not run on the Seahawks like everyone else had been doing. And it was just a confluence of events. I mean, they really should have won that game. Perfectly honest.
Really should have won that game, he says.
Really should have won that game. They did not. And, the NFL is what it is, but they had ample opportunity to do so.
So, Gino, 363, leading the NFL in passing. 363 this past week. 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Kenneth Walker, 25 carries, 83 yards, 3.3 yards a carry. That's not so great, to be honest with you. Was this Smith the Jigba coming out party?
Depends on who you ask. I mean, I think he had a good game. I mean, obviously his best game as a pro, and a couple of touchdowns got called back. So yeah, I mean, you could say you see the flashes of brilliance that everyone thought when they drafted him in the first round. But be more consistent and do it all the time.
What do you like to say about the receivers?
Can't throw the ball to yourself.
So that's not on him. When you say consistency on the receiver part, that's not all on him. Like he
drops a lot of balls. He drops a lot of balls. He even had one bounce off him that led to an interception. I mean, no, be more consistent.
Yeah, he had 13 targets, 7 catches. So 6 of those, when you say one was a drop, he might have had a couple of drops. But the team, they started off with 3 wins in a row. Then they lose 3 games in a row. And now here they are in the last 6 weeks, they're 1-5. Like the Raiders or the Saints just fired their coach with this pretty not identical record, but a very similar record. Is this not a fireable? Are we not fireable offense here with the Mike Macdonald?
No, that team that fired their coach is 2-7. They lost 5 games in a row. I'm sorry, 7 games in a row after winning their first 2, and they lost to the Carolina Panthers. So that's a completely different type of.
Your disdain for Bryce Young is bananas. Your disdain for Bryce Young.
They lost to the worst team in the league. Adverse, the Seahawks losing to their last 4 games are the Detroit Lions, the San Francisco 49ers, the Buffalo Bills.
They did lose to the Giants.
Los Angeles Rams, and 1 loss to the Giants. Okay,
one bad loss. Come on.
So 1 bad loss. Those other 2 of those teams were in the NFC Championship last year. So I'm kind of going to give them a pass on that.
Okay. That sounds like
I mean, if you need to stat me to death, look a little bit deeper into the stats, okay?
I'm not statting you to death. I'm looking at one win in the last 6 weeks.
New Orleans Saints just fired their coach for losing a bunch of games in a row.
Am I not wrong? They got one more win. They got one more win than the Saints. Excuse me, 2 more wins.
They lost to the Buffalo Bills, which have been to the playoffs 5 years in a row. They lost to 2 of the teams that were in the NFC Championship last year.
They lost to the Giants too. Don't overlook that one.
That's the bad loss.
Okay, so you're good with Mike Macdonald. You guys is going to Salties and going to chop it up over the bye week and make you're going to have a good conversation. Make sure everything's
work in progress, and we'll continue to work through it.
Okay, all right.
But don't act like we're the Saints. I mean, that's not a fair comparison whatsoever.
So Bears losing to the Cardinals. Is that a fireable offense?
Well, it sounds like Eberflus is kind of losing the team over there, and Shane Waldron being the offensive coordinator was never a good move. So there'll be some changes in the offseason.
Yeah, I think there was going to be some changes in the offseason. I'm not sure why they kind of like the Cowboys had the lame duck coach situation with Chicago. I mean, at least the Cowboys, um, weren't dealing with a rookie quarterback. But I'm not sure kind of what's going on in Chicago as far as the front office is concerned. They made some made some decent offseason moves. I wouldn't say great offseason moves, but they made some offseason moves that would give you confidence. They gave Cleveland confidence that this Bears team was going to make the playoffs and potentially the Super Bowl. But is it all Caleb stinking? Is it all that, or is it the head coach just stinking it out? What's your read on the Chicago Bears?
It's a combination of the two. I really don't think the offense is conducive to what Caleb does well, and I think that there's going to be a move there, and you'll see a maturation process with regards to his talent level.
When you see, I'm not sure if you saw the play. I don't have the play queued up to show you though. But when Caleb rolls out and he's trying to buy time as he typically does, and DJ Moore runs a route and he runs to come back to the sideline, and Caleb kind of sprints back to the middle of the field, and you just see DJ Moore just kind of walk to the sideline while Caleb is back there running around trying to find somebody open. DJ Moore, the number one receiver on the team, is essentially walked down and sat on the bench. What does that tell you? Is that clearly there's no chemistry between the wide receiver and the quarterback? But when DJ Moore goes, just walks out of bounds, what does that tell you as far as leadership from that quarterback's position? Because that was a sign of no confidence in what this guy's going to do, or he's tired. He's seen enough of this. How do you read that?
A lack of professionalism. Someone that just got handed a 9-figure contract.
Oh, lack of professional. So you're putting it all on the receiver,
for sure.
Okay, if you want to put it all on the receiver, there must be some reason he's acting that way. Is it the lack of the coaching? The coaching not going to hold him accountable?
If I gave you $25 million a year, yeah, you play the whole play, every play.
You can't just throw dollars at it and act like the dollars is going to fit.
You most certainly can. When you get to 9 figures, yeah, I can throw dollars at you. That's part of why I gave you the $25 million every year.
But if he sees the quarterback is just saying,
I don't want to hear about what you were seeing or not seeing, man. Did you just hear what I just said? I just gave you 9 figures, man. You play every play. You don't like it.
They're not counting the money on the sideline.
Like it. You don't disagree with what's going on. Okay, well, I'll put a clause in your contract. Every time you don't like what's going on, you can just walk to the sideline, and I just won't give you like $800,000 every time you do that. How's that sound?
Now you trying to have the heavy hand with the wide receiver. Why not have the heavy hand with the quarterback?
Get rid of the middle of the play? No. So what happened? What happened to Anthony Richardson when he said he was tired because he had run a whole bunch of yards? Wow.
Hey, hold on. Ooh, so now you want to bench the wide receiver? Your top number one wide receiver, you're ready to bench him.
Hey, man, we have to have a talk about this. You just can't just every time you don't think that the play is going your way or you don't agree with what's going on. Okay, well, come to the sideline or at halftime and we can talk about it. But you just walking to the sideline in the middle of the play? No.
Did you see the play I'm talking about? Are you familiar with the play I'm referring to?
I've heard of the play that you're talking about, and you tell me, man. Was it in the middle of the play he just turned around and walked towards the sideline?
I mean, I just find it kind of amusing that
I'm not giving you $1.5 million a game, and you just like when you feel like playing.
He ran his route. The quarterback was extending the play as he typically does. The quarterback rolled to the sideline. The receiver came back and he was open for a split second on the comeback. But then the quarterback, when he got to the sideline, he stops and turned around and ran back towards the middle of the field. Well, at that point, the receiver was like, "Okay, I've done my job," and kind of turned. He was at the sideline already, and then just kind of stepped out of bounds and just kind of walked to the side, walked toward the bench. It was kind of it was like there was more there. Then there's clearly, it's not even a misunderstanding.
We can have a misunderstanding.
It was no misunderstanding. There was no misunderstanding. He couldn't have ran the role.
We can have a discord. We can have a disagreement in how you feel the play should have, transpired. But you just decided that you just don't want to be a part of the play because you're frustrated with the play. 800,000 every time you do that.
Oof. Cleveland is docking players. You docking players and stuff, boy.
I mean, I'm docking players for something that like never ever happens.
It was very odd. It was very odd what happened, and I mean, it just told you that they weren't on sync. It was like there was no sync. It seemed like there was no chemistry.
Get mad, throw your helmet, yell at people, just walk to the sideline because you're frustrated. No,
in the middle of the play. Why the quarterback is still trying to make something happen? It was very weird. We're 9 weeks into the season.
That's right there with the dude yelling at the fans, and then all of a sudden the play gets going. Like, oh man, and then your timings.
Okay,
why your timings all off?
Okay, so that's coaching. So that's coaching. That's coaching.
No,
if it happens to a player on a player on special teams for a game-winning play.
The first instance is coaching. The second example is that player deciding what he's going to do. Nobody coaches you to walk up to the side of the.
Yeah. I mean, we're 9 weeks in. I mean, you don't see that in preseason. You don't see that type of play in preseason. So that's not. I can't say whether it's week 2 or week 9. But there's no chemistry. There's no playing for each other. There's no brotherhood. Whatever you want to call that. Chemistry isn't quite the right the term I'm looking for. But there's no continuity. I would say that there's no continuity with the squad. For a receiver to do that while the quarterback is trying to make a play, and is he tired of that? And maybe he said the quarterback should have rolled out and threw it deep, and then. He starts running around and he's trying to make something happen on his own. And the receiver's like, dude, I had enough of this. I had enough of this. Is that a possibility the quarterback's trying to do too much?
I mean, quarterbacks are always trying to extend plays and do the best that they can. I mean, given, how the offensive line is holding up for Caleb and, it's still a maturation process, a learning curve, man. He still doesn't trust his eyes. I mean, he trusts his athletic ability more than he trusts what he's seeing. That's very visible and evident. Yeah. But that doesn't mean that you just stop playing. I mean, no.
Yeah, I feel.
You don't want $100 million from me. You can't be both ways.
No. I understand what you're saying. We have to do a little deeper dive. If I'm in Chicago, if I'm on the coaching staff, if I'm in the locker room. Like, dude, what happened on this play? What happened on this play? Like, you can't just quit in the middle of the play while our quarterback is out here scrambling around. Like, it's just weird. It was just a weird play, something that you don't see, and you don't expect that from a veteran. Now, had that been, Marvin Harrison Jr., who not familiar with the quarterback
in Pittsburgh or some pouty receiver that just is upset he's not getting enough balls thrown his way. Okay.
No, not even upset he's not getting the ball. Just don't understand what the quarterback is going to do. And if you don't understand who your quarterback is and what he's capable of, then okay, you might not go out of bounds and walk towards a bench. You might just not give it your all. But that requires some deep dive, and might have to do some research to find out what happened on that play. Something we don't have to do any research on. Or we might might call for a little research. What's up with your Houston Texans, man? Are we just seeing a sophomore slump from your quarterback CJ Stroud? How did they lose to the Jets, bro?
That was, an inspired game played by the New York Jets. I mean, they were like, desperation. They bashed against the wall. I mean, if they went 2-7, I mean, good Lord, what would the press be like in New York? But, they didn't have Nico. They didn't have Stephon. I mean, Mixon still ran for 100. The offensive line is not very good, man. They lost by a touchdown.
Boy, I tell you what, you're pretty. I tell you what, if you like the player, you like C.J. Stroud, you're pretty. You come up with some good excuses for certain teams that you like. You're giving Mike McDaniel a pass. Now you give Mike McDonald a pass. Now you're giving C.J. Stroud a pass in the Houston Texans, and you're just saying it was better Jets. I mean, the Jets stink, and you're just saying, oh no, that was the better Jets. I mean, like, what would they do if they had actually lost that game? And how was not Brett Favre? How was Aaron Rodgers going to respond if they actually lose that game? Come on, man. They lost to the stinking Jets, who were 3-6. Like, you just giving them a pass for that one, huh?
I give them a pass for it, yeah.
Well, I tell you what, if you want Cleveland's good graces, Cleveland just gonna wipe the slate clean. Boy, I'm gonna call Cleveland to be my lawyer, boy, in certain situations. Because in certain situations, you just say, yeah, okay, whatever. We're nothing to see here, huh?
I don't see that, huh?
Ooh, man, you guys hear this? You guys hear this garbage? All right, fans. Again, I talked to you guys earlier, and I don't have video for you, but hopefully this does the trick. Before we get into our picks, Cleveland. Again, as I mentioned, I'm going to tangent for a minute. Drink some water. As I mentioned earlier, sometimes there are times, oftentimes, we hear especially in the sports world, we hear unbelievable way too often. Would you agree with that, Cleveland? Do you understand what I'm saying? Unbelievable is overused within the sports world. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, sometimes the narrative can be exaggerated, for sure.
This play I'm about to show you, Cleveland. This was unbelievable. In all of my 35, 38, 39, 40 plus years of watching football, I think it's 43 actually, of watching football, I have not seen. I understand tackling in the NFL is the worst it's ever been. I 100% get that. I 100% understand. So if a running back runs hard, like he gonna break a couple tackles just by simply running hard. And that's fair enough, right? Some guys don't want to hit. Some guys want to go for the kill shot. Do you understand who you're playing against? You can take advantage of that situation. This guy here in position, Saquon Barkley catches his pass out the backfield. This guy, he don't want to make the tackle. This guy don't want to make the tackle. Saquon Barkley simply puts his left foot in the ground and cuts back and goes inside this guy. This guy runs right by it. Not even as a running back, you want to make the first guy. It's on you to make that first guy miss. He clearly is going to miss a tackle. He makes him miss easily, right? Okay. Then, and this is in the same play. The next defender comes up to him, and this defender is something I'm trying to tell my godson. I was trying to in LA. I was trying to have this conversation with him, and he's telling me he likes to go low. He doesn't want to. He's lightweight. He knows who he is. He wants to go low. Okay, fine. You want to go low? I tell you what. If you go and smack that ball carrier, you just go throw your shoulder into his chest the first time he comes your way, the next time he comes your way, he's going to be a little bit more hesitant. He's going to be looking for some blockers. He's not going to come to you with the same veracity as he comes to you as when you go low and you're not looking at the tackle. This defender here, look at this defender here. He's slowing down. Number one, this is what the defender is doing. You can see him slowing down. He's breaking down. Okay, that's a good breakdown, but he's slowing down. Run through number 26. Run through him. There's only so much he can do. There's only a certain amount of places he can go. Run through his ass. You blow him up. Okay, this is number 2. This defender, that defender. Okay, you see Saquon is so cold. Saquon puts his left foot similar to what he did with the other defender. Puts his left foot in the ground, except this time Saquon goes and gives this guy, puts his left foot in the ground, ducks his shoulder, and gives him a spin move. Boom. Cold. Cleveland, cold. That's a cold move, right? So that if that's all he did on that play was juke the first defender, put the spin move on the next guy, you see where the first down marker is. If he just did that and got the first down, Philadelphia's applauding. Great play. We got our money. The signing was worth it. If he did that, the signing was worth it. Off season, all the hoopla, all the talk about the sign, picking him up, it made it all worth it on that one play right there, Cleveland. You with me? You following me? You following me? That's not all Saquon does, Cleveland. That's not all he does. So he put the left foot in the ground. I'm going to go back. I wish I had the video. He put the left foot in the ground. See, setting this guy up, put the left foot in the ground, comes back and says, okay, I'm going to put my right foot in the ground now and give you the spoon move when I'm done with you. Because he's not, again, he's waiting on Saquon to come to him. If he goes to Saquon, when he puts that right foot in the ground, he's attacking Saquon. Hit him and wrap up. Hit him and wrap up. But you see, and look where this guy's position it is. He's waiting on Saquon. Do you follow what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm saying? He's waiting on Saquon. So he essentially allows Saquon to give him the whoopsie doopsie, the okey doke, and allows him to spin out of this move. That's your fault. So now, after Saquon eliminates both of those guys, now Saquon is like, as a ball carrier, again, you want to, it's your responsibility typically to that first guy, you got to get rid of him. You got to break that tackle. So they set him up. Boom. That first guy, that's your job to avoid him. That's your job, Saquon. You got to get rid of him. This guy here, he's breaking down. He's not attacking Saquon. That's the fault of the defenders. That's what the tackling in the NFL is poor. You guys all agree with that. Tackling in the NFL today is the worst it's ever been. But Saquon eludes his defender. The second guy, he gives him the whoopsie doozy, sets him up for the spin move. You see it happening. So now, after he loses that guy, and you see where he's past the first down marker, I told you if he just went down right here, everybody would applaud him. Great move, Saquon. Saquon does something, fans, I personally have never seen on the field on the field from NFL, college to high school. Pop Warner, they're not even doing this stuff. But from Pop Warner to the NFL, I've never seen this happen, Cleveland. Saquon sees the defender coming. The defender's 4 yards away, Cleveland. 4 yards away the defender is. This dude, the defender, you see the defender. Okay, you see the defender coming to him. And you see the defender semi breaking down. I think he needs to be closer within that 2 yard range. That's when you actually break down, and then you explode into the ball carrier. You explode and make your tackle. So he's a little early. He is a little early with this explosion. He's not really exploding because where's he exploding to? Look at your boy Saquon, Cleveland. In the natural position, he's spins, right? And then Cleveland, he leaps up and is hurdling the defender. Cleveland, he's hurdling the dude backwards. Never seen this happen, Cleveland, in my life. When I saw this play, I texted everybody I knew. I've never seen this guy hurdle a defender backwards, Cleveland. And this guy who already got juked the first move, now he wants him to get back. Now he's trying to come back. There's your defender. There's a hurdle right there, Cleveland. Do you see this, Cleveland? Do you see this? Hurdled the man, and now he completely hurdled him. He didn't hurdle him, and you know, some guys, when you jump over forward, you see receivers and you see running backs, you know, see the defender coming and just leap over him, and the defender, he tried to rise up. The defender tried to rise up and say, oh shit, he went over me. Let me go up and see if I can get him higher. Saquon went higher. Saquon went higher than the defender did. Okay? I wish I had it from a different angle, but Saquon went higher than the defender did. Okay? The defender just whiffs. he whiffs that air. Right? Completely hurdled the guy. Came down, and then here's the first guy. I mean, they could have threw him out the game. The injections we saw, and we saw a couple of ejections this weekend from a helmet to helmet hit. This was actually a helmet to helmet hit, but he's angry because he already got juked earlier 5 yards ago, right? In the same play, he came back and made the play. But as a ball carrier, you want to elude the first defender, that's your guy, and then you always want to fall forward. Saquon is falling forward here after three guys attacked him. Cleveland, was that? I can't say that was the most athletic play I've seen on a football field. I mean, tell me, has there been a more athletic play on the football field than this?
You know, Cam, there certainly have been more athletic plays on a football field, and
you say that you got to name one. You got to tell me which one.
I'm gonna have to contradict you a tad bit here.
Help me, please. Go ahead. Let's have a discussion.
The still photos clearly make it look like it's the defense's fault that all of these things are happening. I am quite sure that if you showed some clips of Adrian Peterson or Barry Sanders,
Adrian Peterson didn't hurdle a guy like this. Adrian Peterson never hurdled a guy backwards like that. You
would see some similar plays wherein it's like from a still photo, it looks like that defensive player is completely out of position and should have made that play. And shame on that defensive player. In full speed, it looks vastly different. And like I said in the beginning, him doing his Jackie Chan impersonation right there, jumping backwards up in the air and jumping over a human being is spectacular.
I'm not going for it, Cleveland. Adrian Peterson.
I once watched Reggie White pick up another grown ass human being and throw him into another.
And throw him, rushing the quarterback in the Super Bowl. He did it. That was a pat move he had. That Reggie White. I know what you're talking about. Where he got the offensive tackle off guard, the 300-pound offensive tackle, off balance under him, got his arm under his armpit and threw him. He's using his momentum against him. That's kind of brute strength is what that is. But that's using your momentum.
I've seen Priest Holmes jump up in the air and kick another grown man up off him to get into the end zone. I've seen Randy Moss.
You've seen him jump. You've seen him Priest Holmes jump. You never saw any running back. You never saw him hurdle the defender backwards.
I've seen Randy Moss hurdle numerous defenders.
Again, never backwards. Never backwards.
Jumping up in the air.
Yeah.
going backwards. No, never seen that.
Never. You seen Randy Moss jump up over somebody and take the ball. That's why you got Moss jump over and the defender take the ball off his head. Yes, I've seen that.
But again, the still photos make it seem like it's all the defense's fault and not giving enough credit to Saquon on that.
Oh, Saquon. This is all credit to Saquon. This is
no. Your setup was like everyone that was in defensive position was out of position and should have made the play. It's like, that's not quite how that goes.
No. What I'm telling you is from both sides of the ball.
You should have made the tackle. It's like, no, come on,
man. Who's that? I'm sorry.
You're making it seem like they're trying to tackle a regular person. They're not trying to tackle a regular person. You're making it seem like they're out of position because Saquon does this or that. Saquon made a phenomenal play, a phenomenal run. But
a couple weeks ago, Kenneth Walker did a double reverse flip off the helmet.
He absolutely.
I think I know what you're talking about when it comes to my mind. When he flipped over the guy and landed on his helmet, but he was down. I think his arm or elbow or something touched the ground. He tried to get up and run again, but he was actually down because of a different part of his body touch.
And who was the other Seahawk running back that jumped in the air and did the flip and then came down and landed on his hand and then went the other direction? I mean, I'm not saying that Saquon's move wasn't phenomenal, but I'm just saying you're discrediting the defense like they're just like.
No, they weren't ready for it. They were not ready for what Saquon came to the park with. They were not ready, and I'm not discounting Saquon at all. I'm telling you, this is, in my opinion, this is unbelievable play. Again, I started the show by saying I believe unbelievable is used.
Chris Carson. Chris Carson is what I'm talking about, Cam. Chris Carson has done that same ninja type stuff, man.
Stop.
Straight up.
These moves, what the hell with it. I'm doing it. The hell with it.
You run it?
The hell with it.
Run it.
The hell with it.
Run it.
The hell with it. My producer's not gonna be happy with me tonight, but we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this way, fans. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this way. All right. Cleveland didn't like I tried to break it down for you guys and show you play.
Sure did.
I try to break it down for you.
Put it all in the
play by play. Play by play. I'm telling you, the defender, this guy's not ready to make the tackles. Saquon sneaks right by him. And that's the job of a running back. I'm telling you, that's the job of a running back. When you get the ball, you make that first defender, you elude that first defender.
And the second defender, it looks like he's not doing his job, but then you're not really giving enough credit to Saquon Barkley and his athletic ability.
All the credit. This is a Saquon Barkley highlight. All the credit goes to Saquon.
You can't go both ways, man. Which one is it, man? Is the tackler not making the tackle, or is Saquon just otherworldly filthy? Which one is it, man?
Hey, Saquon
can't be both. It can't be both.
Showed me something.
Saquon
showed me something this week that was just crazy.
Okay.
And SB, I'm not buying it.
Then put it on Saquon. I mean, why are you trying to blame the defense for?
No, I'm trying to tell you as a defender, when you go make the tackle, what the position he should be in. These guys aren't, and I just do
against regular ordinary people, man.
Against anybody, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter who it is.
It does matter who it is.
It does not matter.
Because if it was a regular person, they would have made the tackle. But because it's not a regular person, they couldn't make the tackle.
I'm trying to tell
that's the whole point.
I was trying to tell my godson, when as a defender, you go blow this guy up. You don't wait on him to go make a move and dance around. You go blow his ass up. That's what you do as a defender. He wasn't in position to do that. Okay, the Saquon went around there. This guy doesn't break. This guy broke down a little early, but Saquon gives him the oopsie doopsie, and he's again. Why are you stopping? Run through him to level him right there. You're at the first down marker. You know he's trying to get there. Run through him so he doesn't get there. But Cleveland still. I don't think you. I don't think. I get the feeling that you're not so impressed by Saquon play right there. That's the feeling I get. And so since you're not so impressed by the screenshots that I've given to you, you're forcing me to just break the rules right now. I gotta break the rules just because this play was so unbelievable. This play was so unbelievable. I gotta break the rules and show you how unbelievable it was. Because I don't think you're getting it.
No, I am getting.
I don't think you're getting it. I don't think you're getting it.
What I'm not getting is the criticism that you're giving to the defense for not being able to make plays on Saquon Barkley in the open field.
This defender, look, Saquon, okay, go hit that. Just go hit him. Go hit him. He waits on him. And the Saquon's will lose him. Okay. The same thing with this guy. Why are you stopping? Go blow his ass up. But he stops and waits and let Saquon give him the okie doke. Boom. You're out of here. And then, I'm just going to let it play. Did you see what this dude just did? You haven't seen Barry Sanders when he juked between the Dallas Cowboys and nobody really touched him and he ran and he broke off that run in the playoffs. Incredible. But nobody touched him. Okay? Nobody touched him. And before he had the defensive back or the defensive lineman turning and looking for him as he's just skirted down the field. Nobody touched him. The other play that was on a video game when Barry Sanders ran up against the cornerback and he ran to the left. The quarterback was looking to the right, and then he ran to the right. The quarterback is looking to the left, and he did that like all the way downfield until he got in the end zone. Incredible. Adrian Peterson never did anything like this. Ever. Woo. I got this. You see one guy. He wasn't ready. He wasn't ready. That's absolutely incredible. That's absolutely incredible. And still fall forward. That as a running back, that's one of the most important things you want to do is fall forward after the tackle. That was one of the most the most impressive plays that you will ever see from a running back in your lifetime. In your lifetime, in my lifetime, that was one of the most impressive plays. I'm speechless. I just said Barry Sanders. No, Barry Sanders never hurdled a player like that backwards. I just told you some of the most amazing plays that Barry Sanders made. He never hurdled the guy backwards. I just told you about it. You rewind the play when he ran for 45, 50 yards against the Cowboys and juked the defenders. They didn't know where the heck he was. Or let's go back when he spun off the defender, off the Chicago Bears, where he ran through and one guy hits him and he spins off him and nobody tackles him and he ran for yardage. Incredible. Incredible. He never hurdled the defender backwards is the point I'm making. Okay. After making two moves. I mean, again, Earl Campbell, nice run. Where he lowered his shoulder and put it right in the chest of Jack Lambert and drove him down the field for another 5 yards. Incredible. That was incredible. Or when they ripped his jersey off just because they couldn't bring him down and he rumbled for 75 yards. I think that was against my Dolphins that he ran for 75 yards to secure his Rookie of the Year run. Okay, but that was nice. Never hurdle the defender backwards. Never ever. Never ever. You can't show me a play where your guy Adrian Peterson, as strong as he was, as powerful as he was, he was fast and ran by a lot of players. Never hurdled a guy backwards, people. Never hurdled a guy backwards. That's my point. That made that play so unbelievable. That made that play right there. So you guys saw it. Am I overblowing it? Am I blowing the play? Am I giving Saquon to Cleveland says I'm not giving Saquon enough credit and I'm discounting what the defense is doing. I'm discounting what the defense is doing because they weren't ready for Saquon. and they certainly weren't ready for the guy hurdling backwards. They certainly weren't doing that. It didn't have to result in a touchdown. It didn't have to be a touchdown. It didn't have to be. It still was a great play. It still was a great play. It doesn't have to be a touchdown. That's also only a touchdown is a good run. Is that what you're going to tell me now? Only a running back who makes a great run it has to score a touchdown. Come on, you'd be wrong. You'd be wrong with that statement, sir. It doesn't have to be a touchdown. You think 100 runs that were great runs that didn't get in the end zone. They didn't finish in the end zone. So you guys think I'm overblowing the play. I can't believe this. I can't believe this. So every crossover, does it have to end in a dunk? Every crossover move, did it have to end in a dunk? SB, answer that question for me. Every time you give somebody, cross him up and get up court and throw the alley-oop loss, does it have to end in a dunk play for it to be special? No, it doesn't. I'll answer that for myself. No, it doesn't. Because I'm going to show you something else, Cleveland. And Cleveland, I know Cleveland's already annoyed right now. He's already annoyed. But I'm going to show you something else. To that play, did it end in a touchdown? I'm leaving that up. Did it end in a touchdown? No, it doesn't. And I'm going to hold on to that point. Does every crossover move have to end in a dunk? Okay? Does any special move on the basketball court need to end in a dunk or is not special? Is that what you're telling me, SB? Is that what you want to tell the fans? Because look at this. I got something else for you. Cleveland hates my screen share right now. He's hating his fans. He's hating it right now. I can see the disdain in his face right now because he want to give me some Adrian Peterson. I challenge you, Cleveland, to scour the internet to find a play that Adrian Peterson made that's better than that play. I give you all week. Come back next week. Send me a link. Come back next week. Show me a play that Adrian Peterson made that's better than our play right now. Just one. Okay? Just one. Because you guys, I don't know if you guys are in tune and have the and can see how the disdain in Cleveland's face right now. I don't know if you guys can see that. So SB, did it end in a touchdown? Did it result in a touchdown? No, it doesn't. Does every play on the basketball court do all great shots count for something in the game? No, it doesn't. No, all great shots don't count the same as a game winner. But you're telling me you can't have a great shot that is not a game winner? Is that what you're telling me, SB? Is that what you're telling me, SB? You hold on. You hold the line right there, sir. Because I got something special just for you. Just for you. Now, there's a fella. Cleveland is even going to be. Hey, look. If I could highlight Cleveland's face right now. If I could highlight his face right now. In fact, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this here. Yeah, I'm going to do this right here. I'm going to do this right here. You guys are going to have to wait to see what I'm doing. I can highlight his face right here. I'm doing this. I got you. I got you, Cleveland. I got you, buddy. I got you. And just so real quick, man, I'm going to show you guys what I got. Just what I got right there. There's you, Cleveland. That's you. Can you see the screen? Can you see my screen? You could be as frustrated as you want to be right now, but this is my show. Damn it. This is my show. Yeah, your screenshot right there. There's your, oh my goodness. There's a meme for you guys right there. SB, was this not an incredible play, SB? This was not a game winner. This was not a dunk. Was this not incredible? John Morant doing the 360 layup? Was this not incredible? And this is why this is the sole reason I can't say the most athletic play that we've seen, because obviously it's in the NFL not as athletic as the guys on the basketball court. But SB, I need you to respond to this. It's not a dunk, simple layup, not a game winner. Was this not incredible? That was only one of them. He had another one too. That when he cocked it back on the dude, can you see him cocking it back, Cleveland? Can you see? I know you don't like John Morant, but you have to enjoy this. Can you see him cocking it back on the dude right there? And then does a spin move? And then does the spin move for the layup? Come on, SB. Does only great plays end in a game winner, or every great play has to end in a dunk? I think they did. I'm not sure. I'm not sure win or lose. But come on, now you're minimalizing the play into a win or loss. Come on, man. You can't do that. You can't do that. You can't tell me these aren't great plays that John Morant made. Come on, dog. He went to cock back. He jumped up to cock back on dude and then spent on him and did a layup. Now everybody was all up in arm when Jordan did the hand switch. John Morant can't do the 360 lay-in? And did they win? That's what you're going to come with? SB, come on, go somewhere with that, man. Go somewhere with that. Cleveland, the floor is yours. Look at this. He's still shaking. He's shaking his hand. He don't know why I got all excited. That's what the look on his face. You don't know why I got all excited on Cleveland? Or you
I got nothing to say.
You're racking your brain for a play from Adrian Peterson or Bears.
No, I've seen plenty of plays from Adrian Peterson. Yeah, man.
Just show me one. Go on Twitter. Show me one. Go to YouTube and Adrian Peterson highlights. I guarantee you're not going to see any Adrian Peterson hurdling somebody backwards. You won't see it. You won't see it unless I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on in Oklahoma and probably at the bars, or I don't know what else was happening back there. But again, he was running by cats and running them over. Adrian Peterson wasn't hurdling anybody like that. Come on, cut it out.
Because the poor tackling from the other team, as you
it was poor. There was poor tackling. Yes, absolutely. Poor. And so this is where you may have me. There wasn't. I'm not sure I could have blamed poor tackling on what Adrian Peterson was doing, because Adrian Peterson was getting and running through those guys. It didn't matter if they broke it down in time or not. Adrian Peterson was blowing through those guys. I don't know if they won. You're gonna have to fact check me on that. I can't say they won or lost, but those are spectacular moves. Come on, cut it out. Who are they playing? The Brooklyn Nets. Let me go real quick. SB's on my head right now. Did they win the game? No, come on, man. What, dude? We just saw a couple of the greatest plays that we seen on the basketball court, and you're gonna go, did they win the game? Come on, man. That's kind of being short-sighted, big guy. That's kind of being short-sighted. But they were playing the Brooklyn. Yeah, they did lose. They did lose. Okay, you got me there. B. Fans, so I put the challenge out to Cleveland. He want to look all upset and look all frustrated and think I'm wasting airtime. Airtime on Saquon Barkley. You show me, send me a clip of Adrian Peterson making a better play than that.
Criticize all the tacklers that didn't make the tackle on Saquon Barkley.
I didn't criticize them all. I just the first.
You absolutely did. You've been doing it for 20 minutes.
Fans, let me know. Let me know what you guys think. Have you guys seen a better play from a running back? I mean, from a quarterback or wide receiver, better than what you just saw from Saquon Barkley? I don't think. Yeah, I'm eager to see it. I'm eager to see the better play from somebody else. And then SB, great move. They would have preferred to win. Sure, okay, you got it. They would have preferred to. They lost by 2. SB, come on, cut it out. But yeah, that certainly makes me want to gas up and go to Memphis next week to go see John Morant get down, because John Morant is back, Cleveland, and we're going to have a conversation about that. So let's look at our picks from this week. Maybe this Cleveland ain't going to be so happy about this either, because I'm killing this segment here. We both had Houston winning; they lost to the Jets. I had Dallas over Atlanta. I just thought that was an embarrassing loss. The Atlanta, I'm not ready to say that They're 6-3. I mean, they're in the playoff hunt. I'm not ready to say that they're going to make some noise in the NFC. We'll see about that. But the Cowboys just stunk it up. My goodness. The rest of this we agreed on. New England. New England lost to the Tennessee Titans. I mean, that was a anomaly. Tennessee is not that good, though they have a great defense still. That was not that good. The Saints losing to the Panthers. I didn't expect that. You had Denver beating Baltimore. As much as you talk bad about Bo Nix, what did you see there?
The Ravens lost to the Cleveland Browns the week before and didn't show their true colors. And they have a tendency to play with their food in critical games. The Broncos have a top 5 defense. Thought that they would be able to kind of keep the Ravens in check. They were not.
I picked Caleb in your Bears to come off that loss, the embarrassing loss they had against the Commanders, to rebound this week, and they stunk it up again. Was that good? Was that good Cardinals or bad Bears?
Bad Bears.
No love for the second baseman, huh?
Shortstop.
Sure, he had 2 good. Those are 2 good wins, 2 consecutive wins. I mean, for the Cardinals to put them in first place, back-to-back wins, 2 good wins. Mm-hmm. The Lions just pummeled the Packers. I mean, I had the Packers in this game. Clearly, we both did, but the Lions just showed their dominance in Green Bay in that game. Just showed their dominance. It was, I mean, it really wasn't a close game. They just dominated them. We had the Rams over the Seahawks. What did you see? You thought Flacco was going to beat Minnesota?
You know, the Vikings tend to regress in the second half of the season, and they didn't look that great against the Rams the week before.
Okay. How'd you do your picks against the spread? Oh, look at you. Look at you. Yeah, this might be the first time all season, huh?
Perhaps.
Yeah, okay. All right. You perfect on your confidence picks as well. I had New Orleans over the Saints. Come on, man. I had New Orleans beating the Panthers. Come on, man. I mean, I need some grace. This week here. What's going on here? This week here. Here's our picks. How we got them this week. We both got the Giants. I'm going New England. I'm going Drake May over Caleb Williams. I see you think differently. I'm going Drake May. We're gonna see what happens there. Both got the Bills. What games do we disagree on? You got Pittsburgh. You got Russell with Mike Williams going to Washington, huh? To beat up on the rookie. That's how you see it.
That's how I see it.
Look, you even taking them. You even taking them on against the spread. Okay. I don't think Pittsburgh is as good as the record is. I got Washington winning that game. Minnesota, we both agree with that one. Whether you got the Jets, so you really have no trust in the shortstop, huh?
Don't trust them.
Well, I don't trust your Jets. How about that?
Sure.
I mean, the Jets is traveling across country. I thought it was when you travel cross country for a Sunday game. That's a tough win.
It's a Sunday night game, Cameron. So much more rest. Much more rest. A whole extra day of rest.
Picks against the spread. I got Buffalo. I'm going with Buffalo dominating the Colts in this game. I got Minnesota. Again, they're playing the Jaguars. And Detroit showed me a lot, man. Detroit showed me a lot. The Texans, their loss to the Jets, they're not ready. They're not ready this season. This is maybe it's a sophomore jinx for you guys, CJ Stroud. The offensive line is not ready to go. Detroit's ready. Detroit's hungry. Detroit showed me a lot in that win against the Packers. And then you got the Chargers. Oh, look at you taking Harbaugh and Herbert over the Titans. We'll see how that works out. You got the Steelers. They're playing Washington, and you got the Rams. Oh, the Rams, huh? Now you're leaning on the Rams. Well, they're playing the Dolphins. You know what? You're injury prone. PG doing 360 moves. No, how amazing. Yes, you're right about that. Well, no, hold on. He came in the league like just getting to the hole. His 3-pointer, he still needs to work on his 3-pointer. I'd rather see him work on his 3-pointer than his midi. Because that 3-pointer opens the game up.
SB, don't waste your breath, my dude. Hoop is not his strong suit, man. He's much better on the gridiron. He doesn't even understand what it is that you're saying. It doesn't even compute to him. He just
you know better. SB knows better.
Beautiful 360 moves. He doesn't really understand that Cat's 6'2" shouldn't be crashing to the ground from 4 feet in the air over and over and over again.
He didn't hit the ground one time. What are you talking about?
Break all the.
He didn't hit the ground. What are you talking about?
No, you're right, Cameron. On that one play, he didn't, but 17 other times before that, he hit the ground from like 4 feet in the air. His bones are brittle and little.
You're just a Ja Morant hater. That's to start with. You're just a Ja Morant, Memphis Grizzlies hater. So
6'2",
I'm not listening to you.
Jumping out of the sky on every play. Eventually, your body's going to break down. This is what, year 8?
He's 26 years old. What are you talking about breaking down?
Year 8?
No, this is 4 or 5, isn't it?
26 years old.
Come on. No, when you're 40 and that guy in Los Angeles who can't play without AD, did they win tonight? What they looking like? When you're that age, then you need to start worrying about and concern yourself with.
Sorry, so that you clearly you're not going to answer my question. So let me look it up for you. What season is Ja Morant in?
I'm about to look it up right now. I'm looking.
Oh, you are doing that. Oh, okay.
I'm looking at
it.
What
year did you come up with?
It's year 6. Year 6 for Ja Morant. Remember, he came out of college. He was a sophomore. So what is 5 years in the league?
6 years.
So he's 25. He's 25 years old. Come on, put it out.
Hitting the ground like 10 times a game as hard as you can. That's like
he's had 2 years off.
5,000.
He's fresh. He's had 2 years off. Okay, he's pretty fresh. He's pretty fresh for a 25-year-old.
So sorry. I was just commenting on SB. He doesn't understand hoop. So what are we doing here on the gridiron thing?
I mean, you brought up you wanted to know about Ja Morant. Again, Ja Morant.
Sorry, did we have some confidence picks that we were getting into on this?
You see how quickly he changed that conversation, though, right? You see how quickly he changed that conversation.
Right.
Confidence pick.
So much in this league.
Confidence pick. I got the Chargers, Philly, Detroit, Minnesota, and KC. Are you ready to admit that KC's? I mean, are you ready? I was fucking Vegas. I should have put money on KC winning the Super Bowl. Are you ready to admit that KC is going to win the Super Bowl and get the 3-peat?
No, it's far too soon for that. Yeah.
I mean, they're only getting better though. They're only getting better.
Yeah,
now they got Hopkins.
They're playing football. So yeah, no, I'm not willing to do that. Thanks for asking.
I mean, they got the best guy. They got the best quarterback you've seen, Cleveland. What are you down? What are you downing about this guy?
So far, he's been healthy and upright.
Okay. You got Philly, San Francisco, Atlanta, KC. You got confidence in Atlanta? Who are they playing? Oh, the Saints. You trying to sneak some points in there. Trying to sneak some points in there with that Atlanta pick. Yeah, the Bucks ain't beating San Fran, so. Yeah. Okay. I see you. But here's our confidence pick for this week, and I just got a couple more. I got a couple more points in Cleveland this year, so I just got a couple more. Well, that's our NFL talk. I try to sneak in some NBA talk. Cleveland didn't want to talk NBA. He wanted to bounce back to the NFL. Cleveland didn't want to talk NBA. Okay, but now it's NBA time, Cleveland. Let's talk NBA. MB gets suspended for 3 games for the altercation. And the 76ers right now are struggling with the Clippers, who did win their first game. Who was that? Harden getting to the hoop. It's a 4-point game in I was saying Los Angeles. It's in Inglewood, actually, fans. In the new Intuit Dome. They're 4 points up on the 76ers right now. With 4 minutes, 2 points now. With 4.5 to go in the third quarter, 66-68. And James Harden was right. He is a system. There's nobody to argue he's a system now because he's all that's there. Kawhi's not there. He got a bunch of young cats. You don't trust Kevin Porter Jr. You don't know nothing about Ivica Zubac. Norman Powell is able to get up some shots there, but James Harden is the system. Scoring, assist. You got the ball in his hands all game long. Is that sustainable for the Clippers to get to the playoffs?
No.
They can't get to the playoffs with Harden leading the way?
No.
It's gonna be close. It's gonna be close. I got him in the playing tournament, but it's gonna be close. But Embiid suspended for 3 games. I guess the 3 games start tonight because he would have been healthy, or he would have played tonight if they weren't playing. So maybe the Lakers will see him on Friday. They're going to see him a Clipper team.
The Lakers won't see him. It's a 3-game suspension.
No, I'm just saying the Lakers won't see him. They get a chance. They get a chance to beat the 76ers because they won't see him. They'll see the Sixers. They won't see. And then they'll see the Embiid-less Sixers on Friday night, so maybe they can get a win.
And Paul George will have been in LA for 3 straight days. Yeah, they're clearly not going to win that game.
Well, he's back home. Paul George got something.
Exactly that, and he's going to be doing some extracurricular things, and he's not going to be in game shape. As a matter of fact, he might even take the game off so he can spend time with his family.
Oh, ain't that nothing? Ain't that nothing? Harden from the logo. Oh, and he's fouled. Yeah. Oh, well, they just say the shot clock expired. They didn't even give him a foul. Cavaliers are the only undefeated team in the East. Do you believe in the Cavaliers?
No.
So now the Cavaliers has been here now a couple years. They've been a top 4 team, a top 5 team in the Eastern Conference. Never haven't been able to get over the hump. Oh, that's a cold one. That's a cold. Relying on Harden is to get you anywhere is a shaky proposition. It is, but okay, what do you want from him, though? I mean, Harden is going to have the ball in his hands. He's going to be one of the making the decisions.
What you want from him, Cam, is something he is incapable of doing, and that is performing in the clutch.
Well, in the clutch, yes.
That's what you're asking him to do, is replicate what he does in the regular season in the playoffs, which has never ever happened.
Well, what the Clippers really need for him is to kind of carry this Clipper team to
no, what the Clippers need for him to do, because Kawhi Leonard's not going to play this season, is do something Herculean and get his team into the playoffs. That's not just something he's capable of doing.
Can he keep them in striking distance until Kawhi comes back in February?
Kawhi's not coming back this season, bro.
He's coming back in February. That was all jokes aside. All jokes aside. Listen.
He's coming back in February.
Listen.
Oh my God.
All jokes aside.
February.
When they pulled him for game 4 against the Mavericks in the playoffs.
Bro, that dude went to Paris to practice with the Olympic squad.
I hear you. I know
that is not going to be able to play for 8 months later after that. And that's even if he can.
There's going to be worse teams. There's going to be worse teams than the Clippers. And plus, in NBA, you can't say tank. You can't say tank in the NBA because you go into that lottery. The ball's bouncing around. So it's not like the NBA and NFL where you can just beat a team.
I thought Kawhi would be back by like mid-December and maybe play 10 or 15 games. Maybe 15
no. Check it out. All jokes aside, when they pulled him in game 4 against the Dallas Mavericks in the playoffs, I went into the press room and I just said to some press buddies of mine, just sit him until February. Just sit him until February. Sit him until February. Maybe he can get 40 games. Maybe they can get 40 games out of him next year. Just 40 games. Just maybe then he can play through May. Maybe then, because as it's been, he ain't been able to play a full season. So just shelf him. And if these young cats running next to James Harden can get them can keep them afloat until Kawhi comes back, and then now when Kawhi comes back, if he's healthy, you got a superstar. You got that dude, as you like to say, Cleveland. You got that dude, and then he can play. He let Kawhi carry them to the finish line. So can James Harden keep them in striking distance until the All-Star game?
No.
Oh my goodness! You just been going on. Okay, so you have no faith in the team is undefeated. No faith in the undefeated Cavaliers. But you can't take though, SB. If you take, they got the lottery thing, man. Where it's you just the ball's just going a little hopper. It's not like the NFL where you guarantee, you stink and you guarantee your first, second, and third pick of the draft. That lottery thing, they could be the worst team in the league and still pick number 9. Like that doesn't work, does it? The Bucks currently 1-6. Does Giannis finish the season as a Milwaukee Buck?
Yes.
Does Dame finish the season as a Milwaukee Buck?
He does as well.
Well,
there's a third question coming up.
What? Who? There's nobody else there. What's your third question? I mean, there's only the two guys there. Middleton is no good. Middleton stinks.
Does Doc Rivers finish the season with the Milwaukee?
I already know what you're gonna say. I don't even have to ask that question. Doc is already on the hot seat. I let you tell it. You already making phone calls to seeing who else you can get in there.
You remember the Jiffy Pop that you just put on the stove, and you just keep moving it around, and it just keeps expanding, and just explodes.
Pretty soon it's just gonna bust, huh? I mean, is Doc the problem? Is Doc the sole problem? In all jokes aside, I know you want to blame Doc for his playoff record. Is Doc the problem in Milwaukee?
100%.
But Giannis called for this. Giannis didn't. Budenholzer was the coach that led him to the championship. The next year, Giannis didn't like Budenholzer. He said he wanted Adrian Griffith as a head coach. They they brought in Adrian Griffith, who was
balling out of control.
They were 500. They weren't balling out of control. They were 500.
They were the number one seed in the East when they fired him.
So why did they fire him if that was the case?
You tell me. Didn't like all that hard coaching, that tough discipline.
And so they bring in Doc, and you want to blame it on.
They bring in his advisor and his mentor. Yeah. Griffin's advisor and mentor to take over the ship.
Yeah, you've been advising Griffin, so why don't you just come coach the team?
Well, see how that's worked out so far. They're 1-6.
The Spurs, I mean, there was some little.
It worked out spectacular, SB. He just doesn't want to understand that. Sometimes you got to take a chance to get Victor Wembanyama. Sometimes you got to take a chance to get Cooper Flag. Damn.
Shout out to Pop. Shout out to my guy, Greg Popovich. Hope all is well. We want to see him back on the sideline. But they were doing Pop a favor, man. They were doing Pop a solid.
They ended up with Victor Wembanyama.
Yeah, I'm saying they were doing Pop a solid.
Yeah. So if the Clippers, hey man.
Wait, you think Ballmer has that reverence in the league? You think Ballmer has that reverence in the league where they're gonna say, okay, Ballmer?
Go the other direction. No, Ballmer's already dug his own grave. That contract is untradeable, man.
What contract?
Kawhi's.
Okay, I'm just saying. So Ballmer's been dealing with Kawhi. Ballmer tried to go all in with Kawhi and Paul George. That didn't work. Ballmer now tried to go in with Harden. He's kind of stuck with Harden.
He's not going all in with Harden. He just wanted Harden as one of the pieces. He knows Harden's not going to bring him a championship, man.
So is Adam Silver is going to do Ballmer a solid by allowing him to get Cooper Flag.
No.
So there you go. So Clippers tanking for Flag. What I mean, you can't.
He will put him in the lotto, but I mean that's the whole point. You get into the lotto, you might get Cooper Flag.
If Harden went down, just the talent alone puts the Clippers like in the number 7 seed. I mean, it gives their 7th worst record in the league. They'll finish with the 7th worst record if Harden went down.
I'm so sorry. So you're trying to tell me that you think the Los Angeles Clippers will be the 7th seed without James Harden?
No, I misspoke. They will have the 7th worst record, in the league without James Harden. I mean, there's teams worse than the Clippers, but if Harden went down, like they're definitely not a playoff team without a question.
They're fringe playoff team with him on the court.
That's what I'm saying. So take him away, they're definitely not in the playoffs.
Okay.
And they're probably, I mean, there's only probably 5 or 6 teams worse than those guys. The Hawks are worse than them.
Hawks are not worse. Let's recalibrate here. The Wizards.
The Wizards will be worse than them.
The Charlotte Hornets are worse.
Yes.
The Portland Trailblazers.
That's 4 teams.
The Brooklyn Nets.
5 teams. That's what I'm saying. To my point, they're going to be around 6 or 7 worst record in the league, minus James Harden and no Kawhi, obviously. So they're in that 6th or 7th. I keep wanting to say seed, but they're in that 6 or 7th range of the worst teams in the NBA without James Harden. With James Harden, there's a chance that Harden can catch fire in January and February, and they win 6 games in a row to bump them up. But they're not. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying they're in contention. They're a playing team today. If they're a playing team, they're fighting for a playing team spot, meaning they're number 10 in the West. Okay, they're fighting for that team for that spot in the Western Conference with James Harden. Take away James Harden, yeah, they're putrid. And unless Kevin Porter Jr. just went bananas all of a sudden out of nowhere, which you don't think that's possible, there's nobody else on that team who's just gonna elevate that team to being a playing team. So they're in a tough situation in a brand new stadium, a dope stadium. They're in a tough situation.
Hence, SB23's point, they should just tank it out. That's the whole point.
But tanking doesn't in the NBA. Tank doesn't promise you anything.
It doesn't promise you it, but it at least gives you a chance to quite possibly get Cooper Flag. Yet nothing to lose. You're not going to make the playoffs.
You don't have nothing to lose. You're right about that. You're right about that. But you just can't say we're going to be worse
with him.
You can't just say put the ball in Kevin Porter Jr.'s hands and then all of a sudden we're the worst team in the NBA.
No, put it in his hands every play. Kevin Porter, let's see where you're going with this. Nowhere. Oh, okay. Well, I guess we're in the lottery. Throw us in the ping pong machine.
Right now it's 84 to 68 Clippers over the 76ers. Minus Embiid right now. So we'll see. Steph Curry and the Warriors, they beat up on the Celtics tonight. You expect anything out of the Wizards or out of the Warriors, excuse me?
No, not really.
You don't think the Warriors can shake some trees and have a decent season?
No, not really.
Not a playoff. So no playoff for the Warriors.
Hope so. I mean, you always want to see Steph and what he can do, when it really counts. But no, I don't think so.
I mean, right now they're 7-1. They are 7-1 now, 8-1. They're tied with the Phoenix Suns. Phoenix Suns are actually better than we kind of anticipated. I figured I had this argument with one of the sports writers. It wasn't really an argument, just conversation with one of the sports writers from Phoenix. I really think Tyus Jones is a good fit for the team. But what he was telling me is that Tyus Jones, he brings a skill set that the Phoenix Suns needs as a quality point guard who can take the ball out of Kevin Durant's hands, out of Bradley Beal's hands, out of Devin Booker's hands, and orchestrate the squad. But he doesn't have the personality to say, this is what I'm doing. He's more of a nice guy type. He doesn't have the Chris Paul personality to say, give me the ball. You, Kevin Durant, you go over here. Booker, you wait. You wait over here. Bradley Beal, this is what you do. He's more of a nice guy. He's just going to play well with those guys. He's going to make nice with those guys. Which that made a lot of sense. But what I was reminding him is when he was with Memphis and Ja Morant went down, they were like 24-2 without Ja Morant, and that was largely because of the play of Tyus Jones. Can he have that same impact with the Phoenix Suns? That's what I was anticipating. He's like, yeah, but he's just too much of a nice guy. Like Phoenix, there was once Ja Morant went down, in Memphis there wasn't anybody to tell him, well, Desmond Baines, but Desmond Baines wasn't going to tell him to give me the ball, right? Desmond Baines was a young guy himself. The chemistry is a little different in Phoenix, so that's why I thought Tyus Jones could have a really good impact with the Suns. I mean, much better. I didn't expect the Suns to jump out of 7-1 right now to lead the Western Conference. So that's pretty interesting. That they're 7-1. Is that sustainable, Cleveland?
No, not sustainable. Health-wise, we'll see what they do. And Tyus Jones was able to kind of take the reins with some kids. Can't really take the reins with cats like Kevin Durant and, the greatest Olympian ever, two-time NBA champion, two-time finals MVP of the league. Yeah, you're not just going to be orchestrating him around like Chris Paul.
That's really what they need, though. I mean, you got a point there. You don't want to be stuck in mediocrity. You don't want to be in that. Yeah, they're in a little purgatory right now. You want to get bad and get that pick. I don't disagree with that. I'm just saying in the NBA now you're relying on a lot of luck, or you're relying on Adam Silver to kind of give you the frozen, giving you that frozen ball in the hopper.
Frozen envelope, pulling it out.
Yeah, I mean that's a lot of luck that you're relying on, and if it happened, I mean, kudos to them. I just don't know that that's going to happen. I think there's the worst teams in the league that can get that spot. But the Warriors, the Warriors right now, again, they're 8-1 now. They're leading the West because the Suns didn't play tonight, so that is the best team. I mean, Oklahoma City, they just lost. Who did they lose to? I thought they were undefeated, actually. They lost to Denver, actually, by 2 points win tonight. They lost. Do you believe in OKC?
They're playing well. Should be a 1 or 2 seed coming out the West.
They're going to be the 1 seed. I mean, should be. They're going to be the 1 seed. They're going to win the Western Conference. And that's kind of my pick to win it all. I'm not sure. I think they could beat Boston. Boston, I still wait and see. I mean, Boston, they did win it last year. But they that was a prove it to me year. I mean, that was a prove it to me situation. I didn't count
it. Hey, slow it down. Why don't you say something like you would like to see the Oklahoma City Thunder win the championship because you believe in their team and they play hard and they dive on the court and stuff. And, that kind of stuff.
They got great talent.
But you really actually don't believe they're going to win the NBA championship. I have to stop you right there because the fans can kind of see through your pipe dreams there.
I mean, I know you don't want to hear anything good things about.
So go ahead and dial it back a tad bit.
I know you don't want to hear any good things about.
Just say what I just said. You like the team. You like their makeup. They work really hard. They're young. They're enthusiastic. They're
gonna have the SGA is gonna win the MVP. SGA is gonna win the MVP this season.
But you don't believe they're gonna win the NBA championship?
Why not? Why wouldn't they win the NBA championship? They have all you need. They have scoring. They have defense. Now they got Hartenstein. They got Chet.
Can I write this two elbows down on it?
Oh, you want to put 2 elbows on it, huh? I do one. I do an elbow right now. Elbow right now. Elbow. November 6th. Elbow November 6th. OKC will win the NBA championship. I'm not afraid of that. I'm not afraid of that. Who's going to beat them? Boston? They're definitely winning the West. They'll be right there. I don't know. I'm pretty confident in the pick. What you think, SB? Who you got winning it all? It won't be your Lakers who just lost to the Pistons and now lost 3 or 4. What do you see out of Lakers?
They looked really, really good early. Anthony Davis
going another injury.
Going 30 and 14, just back to back to back to back. That looked very promising.
Well, he got another injury now. Settle down.
But now he has another injury, so gotta settle down.
The Clippers right now. I mean, you want to talk junk about the Clippers? They're at 19 on the 76ers to start the fourth quarter.
The 76ers on the road without Joel Embiid, it's crazy.
I mean, this will be their second win at home. So,
wow, second win at home. That's crazy.
Second win in the new dome. Yeah, come on.
Look at them. Wow, that's crazy. Good for them. Mm-hmm.
Cavaliers, you don't trust the Cavaliers. Celtics 7-1, now 7-2. Everybody else is. I mean, those are the top of the Eastern Conference. Everybody else is. I mean, Brooklyn has a 4-4 record. Everybody else is right in there 4-4. OKC, like I said.
How do Villanova Wildcats join?
How do Villanova? How do Nova Knicks do it? All right, let's look up the Nova Knicks and see what's going on. 3-4. Like I said, Brooklyn has the best record at 4-4. Everybody else is below.
Oh wow! Is Johnny Kemp still leading the Knicks in points per game?
See how you do. See how you do. I mean, the Knicks is going to be a solid playoff team, regardless of what you think or not. The Knicks is going to be a solid playoff team.
They sure will. Second round. See you there.
Yeah, so that might be it. I mean, that might be it for the Knicks. Fans, we play our number game at the beginning of the show. Midway through the show, typically right here after our NBA talk, we have This Week in History. This is kind of mixed with some trivia. I think I got some trivia thrown in here for Cleveland. We want to talk about some of the things that just happened in history. They're a little reminders, fans. 1917, November 5th, Buchanan versus Worley. Was a unanimous United States Supreme Court decision addressing racial segregation in residential areas. The court held that Louisville, Kentucky ordinance requiring residential segregation based on race violated the 14th Amendment. That was in 1917. They had to go to law for that, or go to the legal books for that. November 10, 1891, African American inventor Granville T. Woods patents the electric railway. Wow, I didn't know about that one.
Also, walkie-talkie.
Yeah. 11/6/1968, Shirley Chisholm became the first African American woman to be elected to the U.S. Congress. Cleveland, 11/6/1986, Evan Meacham, the governor of Arizona, fulfilled his campaign promise to cancel a paid Martin Luther King Day holiday for state employees as his first act in office. I mean, come on. And that was quickly changed when the NFL said, "Yeah, no Super Bowl for you guys." They changed that. Quickly, shortly thereafter. 10/30/1954, U.S. Defense Department announces elimination of racially segregated regiments. November 7, 1967, Carl Stokes is elected mayor of Cleveland, Ohio, and becomes the first African American elected mayor of a major city. November 5th, 1956, the Nat King Cole Show debuts on NBC. It's the first variety program to be hosted by an African American. November 9, 1964. The name I got I think that the name is wrong on there. It says Roger Erliner, young, born in Clifton Forge, Virginia. She has the distinction of becoming the first African American woman to receive the doctorate in zoology. Cleveland, what do you do with a doctorate in zoology?
Man, you study animals. Get really, really in depth with that. Ran a couple of zoos around the country.
Run a couple of zoos, huh? November 5th, 1978, Oakland Raiders John Madden become the 13th coach to win 100 NFL games. November 5th, 1981, former Miami Dolphins player Mercury Morris is sentenced 20 years in prison for drug trafficking, conspiracy, and possession of cocaine. Reaches a plea bargain while convicted. While conviction was in appeal, served 3.5 years. The late Mercury Morris,
and they came out and drank champagne every time
what?
Time the team lost a game.
No, not every time a team lost a game. Every time a team lost their undefeated bid.
Excuse me, let me preface that. Yeah. And you just smudged his name all up, man. Talking about his drug cases and whatnot. Wow.
I mean,
that's cold. It's kind of cold.
Hey, I'm gonna have to drink a glass of.
You brought the late great Merc out just to snitch on him like that. That's cold.
I'm just giving you facts, bro. I'm just giving you facts of what happened. I might have to drink that glass of champagne if the Chiefs ever lose this season. Cleveland, November 5th, 1994. George Foreman KOs Michael Moore to win boxing heavyweight championship. Were you watching George Foreman back then, or not really?
No, I saw that fight. Knocked him out in the 12th.
November 7, 1989. David Norman Dinkins elected as the first black mayor of New York City, served from 1989 to 1993. November 7, 1989, same day, Virginia elects Lawrence Douglas Waller as governor, making him the first African American to be elected governor of that state or any other state. Most consecutive Cleveland. Who has a record for most consecutive free throws to start an NBA season? Which team did he play for? Who was it? It happened in 1993.
It's Michael Williams, the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Good guess. How many was it?
It was like 83 or something like that.
97. Good call, Cleveland. Good call. November 6, 1993, Cleveland. Evander Holyfield beats Riddick Bowe in 12 rounds for a heavyweight boxing title. What happened during that fight, Cleveland?
The dude flew into the ring and Rock Newman and them cats beat that dude. They started clubbing the cell phone and the uppercut and the everything. Woo. Yeah,
but the dude with the fan on his back trying to fly around the ring. I mean, what was this clown thinking about? He's just gonna hover around. He's just gonna hover around the boxing ring and just fly around the boxing ring.
Yeah,
and then he landed in the ring. The fan, man, that was some wild shit. Where were you watching that fight? Well, do you remember where you were?
I think I was at my dad and Terry's watching that one. Got it like pay-per-view or close. Yeah, pay-per-view or cable or whatever it was at the time.
No, that was a regular TV. I think it was on cable, actually. It wasn't pay-per-view. I think it was just on cable.
It's probably an HBO thingy. Yeah.
Yeah, I just moved to Virginia. I was there in Virginia 2 months when that happened. I had a little fight party in Virginia. I had just moved to Virginia. That was hysterical. Everybody was like, Hey, they gotta look. What's going on? there's a fan and some dude flew in the ring. What are you talking about? Flew in the ring? Yeah, he flew in the ring. That was hysterical. Where are we? 11/6/1995, Cleveland. Art Modell officially announces Cleveland Browns are moving to Baltimore, Maryland. Boy, and the city of Cleveland went berserko after that.
As well they should.
All right, Cleveland, it's about time to start kind of eyeballing this college football playoff, the bracket. Are you into it yet? Or are you with 12-team bracket? Or are you with this? Or you still like the 4-team bracket? What do you prefer?
Clearly we have to embrace the present and the future. I'm just like 3 weeks away from really getting too serious into it. There's far too much football left to be played.
So it's too early to ask for the favorite candidate. So I ask you this. I mean, I already know the answer to this one. How long can Oregon hold on to their number one spot?
3 weeks. I don't know if they can beat Ohio State again. And I don't know if they can beat Ohio State again or Indiana. So far, Indiana has been kind of running the table over there in the Big Ten. And
do they play Indiana?
Well, eventually they'll have to get to the Big Ten championship. So
right, okay. They got Indiana, the Penn State, Ohio State. Where's BYU? Who are they? Are they still in the Pac West or whatever it's called?
No. They're
are they Big Ten?
I'm not quite sure I'm not quite sure what division BYU is in, but they won't be a factor.
They're number 4 now. They're gonna fall out. They can't stay there.
They're not number 4 in the country. No,
they're number 4.
They are not.
I'm looking at the bracket right now.
I think you're looking at it wrong.
Who's number 4 in your bracket? Then?
In the country? Is that your question? Who's the number 4 team in the country?
No, Miami Hurricanes are number 4. In the AP Top 25, Miami Hurricanes are number 4. You're right. Okay. BYU is number 9. How are they number 4 in this bracket then?
I have no idea.
Let me question in this bracket then. I was looking at the bracket. So can Miami Hurricanes hang on to the spot at the number 4 spot?
I think so, because I'm not quite sure they're going to lose an ACC game, and they should probably win the ACC championship and kind of coast into the seeding aspect of it.
Okay. This weekend, Boots Ennis takes on Karen Chukahazian, who's 24-2, 13 KOs in Philly. Interested in seeing Boots Ennis?
Well, Cam, you know how I feel about fights with cats you can't pronounce their names.
I mean, can you pronounce this Armenian's name?
I mean, okay, well, hey, man.
Chuck Hedzian.
Hey, well, clearly not a household name. Nah, I'm not watching.
Okay. Juan Soto receives 13 qualifying offers. Where's he end up? Does he stay a Yankee? The Yankees got to break the bank, don't they?
Stays a Yankee, and it's not breaking the bank. It's just kind of chipping off some dollars.
Oh, because it's a Yankee, they're not breaking the bank.
Right.
Well, how is Kershaw declining $10 million playing offer?
Because he wants to pitch 2 more years at a higher salary.
Kershaw.
Garrett Cole did the same thing. He declined the offer and resigned. The league is recalibrated itself, so he's recalibrating his salary.
This is not Kershaw from 6 years ago.
Nope, it's not. But it's
still finish the season.
Still Clayton Kershaw, man.
Well, what does that mean? Well, did he win 10 wins? Did he get 10 wins last year? No, he did because he wasn't pitching half the season.
Hey man, it's Clayton Kershaw. He's a lifetime Dodger. He can stay as long as he wants to stay.
I'd have traded Kershaw in like 6 years.
I know that's why you're not a good GM.
Well, no, I mean if you can't win especially the big games. Like he couldn't win the big games already. Now you trying to come in and break the bank.
It's not break the bank. It's just renegotiate.
We got Shohei. Shohei's gonna fill his spot.
He's been an MVP, Cy Young. With this team.
Yeah, he was great. 10 years ago. 10 years ago, he commanded $25 million a year. This is a different Clayton Kershaw. This ain't the same. This ain't the same.
It's plenty of Dodger money to go around. Just give him a little extra. It'll be fine.
I mean, Shohei only defers but so much now. And then he has surgery. How is this surgery going to impact his pitching this season? Next season. Well, this season.
Well, hopefully you don't pitch, Cam.
What do you mean, hopefully you don't pitch?
Throws his elbow out one more time, man. I mean, what are we talking about? I mean, every time he throws his elbow out, I mean, you got to sit like 3-4 months.
He threw his elbow out and came back and went 50 and 50. 55 and 55.
Yeah, but that's the season after he threw his elbow out. You don't want to throw your elbow out like middle of the season. I would just not let him pitch, but if he wants to try that, that's cool.
You're not gonna you're gonna say sit on the bench, Shohei, you can't pitch? No, they had to be in some agreement, that he's coming there to pitch and hit.
Okay, well,
he's not coming there to. I mean, this is a dual threat. You're not gonna use a dual threat.
Yeah. Play Travis Hunter at cornerback and receiver, or.
Well, no, he only got a few more weeks of that. This is Travis Hunter is 5'7", 160 pounds. We're talking about Shohei, who's 6'4", 230.
But that's cool. I mean, you can put all that stress and pressure on your elbow if you want until it snaps again.
I mean, if it snapped again, then we have to have a conversation.
That'll be the third time.
Yeah, it would be. You're right. You're absolutely right. Until that happens, we didn't expect it to happen a second time, right? Until that happened, show me what you got.
Want to keep tempting fate, then that's up to them.
Shohei, show me what you got. Let's get on the mound, big dog. Don't they need pitching? Clayton, thank you. We're gonna spend that $10 million on a thank you parade for Clayton Kershaw. Get out of here. Kick him out the door. Shohei, let's go. Shohei, come on, let's go. You rather have Clayton and Shohei?
Yeah.
Really?
Not saying that Clayton's necessarily a better pitcher at this point in their careers, respectively. But you're losing too much.
You don't want to risk it. You don't want to risk it. You don't want to risk it with Shohei.
I wouldn't.
I would think that's on the contract, though. In all seriousness, I would think there was some kind of contractual obligation that he was going to hit. The only reason he didn't pitch this year is because he was healing. So he was healing and still goes hit 55 home runs. Now I'll take 45 home runs in 12, 15 wins. You wouldn't do that on the mound, 100 strikeouts?
No, I don't trust that his arm's going to hold up.
I mean, maybe not. Maybe not. I'm going with Shohei over Clayton Kershaw on the mound next season. I'm going with me personally. I'm going over. Serious question. If this happens, I would buy me a Mariners jersey, a hat, and some shoes if this were to happen. Why don't they go sign Theo Epstein?
Because they're broke. They're penny pinching owners.
Do you think that these penny pinchers don't know who Theo Epstein is?
No, they know who everyone is. They just don't want to pay anyone.
What would Theo cost?
Tens of millions of dollars.
Huh?
Tens of millions of dollars.
This would be a legacy play for Theo. He went and won one with Boston, who hadn't won one in 100 years. He went and won one with the Cubs, who
yeah. See, let's rewind here. So he did that with teams that had unlimited resources. This is not a team that has unlimited resources. The Boston Red Sox and the Chicago Cubs.
And Wrigley. and Wrigley Spearmint.
If they had unlimited resources here in Seattle, they would have. I shouldn't say they would have already won a World Series, but they would.
This is where I think the argument fails. They had Sony and Nintendo behind them. Like they just weren't allocating money correctly. Like
I'm not going to get into all the previous owners. I'm only going to go with the present owners, and they are frugal at best and don't have deep pockets.
Who's the GM, man? Or not the GM. Who's an advisor? If they said Theo Epstein is going to cost you $30 million over the next 3 years, but the guy has a proven track record of winning World Series championships.
So they had a chance of signing an all-star second baseman named Marcus Semien. And the reason they didn't sign him is because he wanted 1 extra year on his contract. Prorated. So instead of like an 8-year contract, he wanted a 7-year contract. And they said no.
That was this recently?
That was 2 years ago.
See, this okay. So Theo Epstein is way out of the
price range.
Even though they understand with Theo in the house, they win a World Series in 3 years.
They would probably have been in the World Series this year had they had a all-star second baseman that could hit for power. GMs don't hit, throw, catch, or steal bases. So they
now you're trying to minimize what Theo Epstein has done. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, because he does it with an unlimited checkbook. He couldn't turn the Oakland A's around. I mean, he couldn't turn the Minnesota Twins around. He couldn't turn the Cincinnati Reds around. He can turn around teams that have an unlimited budget. There's no salary cap in baseball.
So you're just saying he's just going to spend as much money as more than anybody else.
That's talent. He's a great assessor of talent. But when he says, "Hey, we need this person, that person, and that person," they say, "Okay." And I mean that might be like $300 or $400 million worth of contracts. Mariners aren't going to do that. They're not even going to pay his contract.
Wow. So they're not serious about winning. Because I would say again, I would jump on board tomorrow if they went and got Theo Epstein.
You are correct. They are not serious about winning. They're serious about being somewhat competitive. They're not serious about winning.
Well, there you go. There you go, Mariner fans. That was I just try to break down. Cleveland, I tried to tell Cleveland that's the only way I get some Mariners gear, and he's like, "Yeah, so what?" He's like, "Yeah, so what? We don't need your fandom." That's it, huh?
I mean, unless something dramatically changes, but that's just not been the tone around here.
I mean, what do you do? The Clippers up 110-98 on the Philadelphia 76ers minus Joel Embiid. The fourth quarter, the clock runs down for the Clippers to win their second consecutive game at the Intuit Dome.
Great win, you guys.
We give the Clippers a round of applause. for their second consecutive win. Who cares that Embiid didn't play? Man, I think they should do all they can, man, to get Theo, at least get him on the phone. I mean, he's been away from the game a couple of years. He's not itching to win. I mean, that would be legacy. He's already a Hall of Famer, right? Just from doing what he did with the Red Sox and the Cubs. Imagine if he went to Seattle. And won with the Seattle.
Asking Theo Epstein to come to Seattle and bring a championship to Seattle. It's like asking Phil Jackson to coach a team without Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant on it.
Wait.
You follow? You catch the analogy? You catch where I was going with that?
I mean, that sounds like shots. You taking shots at Phil Jackson. That's what that sounds like.
I mean, no, Phil's an incredible coach when he has the greatest and the second greatest shooting guard in the history of basketball. Not quite sure what he can do without those type of resources.
I mean, if they really want to do something, if they want to make a name for themselves, they don't want to be the doormat in Major League Baseball.
No, they're not the doormat.
I mean, pretty much. I mean, the A's are beneath them.
It's only been 3 teams that have a winning record for, was it 3 or 4 consecutive seasons, and the Mariners are one of them.
Stop it with their winning record and what they've done. They haven't made any noise. They've had in 40 years.
They have made zero noise, but what?
In 40 years, Cleveland, don't make me go here. In 40 years,
you're missing the point. You're missing the point. Ownership doesn't care. They just want to continue with the illusion, and if it so happens to happen, it's going to be on the cheap. They're not going to pay for it.
Sorry, Mariner fans. I try to come up with some ways, a way for you guys to be relevant, and Cleveland don't want to hear it. And I thought go getting Theo Epstein, I mean, gee whiz, he's been away from the game now. He's been consulting for some time now. He must have an itch to want to put a team together that can win something. Absolutely. And why not go get that guy? And Cleveland says no. Theo says, I need $40 million a year to for the next 3 years.
No. He has to be paid handsomely. Let's not make any mistake about that. But he also has to have the resources that when he assesses talent and there are free agents to bring in, that you have the resources to pay them.
And the Mariners just aren't willing to invest in.
They are not willing to do that.
I mean, Theo is that guy. If Theo can't get him to do it, they ain't gonna do it.
They ain't gonna do it.
All right, man. I tried, Mariners. I try to find some. I was eyeballing. So I was up in Seattle a couple weeks ago. I was eyeballing some. Went to the team store. Was looking at some hats, and I was thinking about a jersey where I could put my name on the back. But Theo has to be in charge. Mm-hmm. That's the only way that happens. If Theo's in charge, you guys got me as a fan. Theo not in charge, the Mariners stink. I continue to search for a Major League Baseball team. Fans, I want to thank you guys for tuning in to the Voice of the Fans podcast. Even though, hey, I got a meme for you guys. You guys are gonna see this meme now. You guys are gonna be tired of me and my Cleveland Steel meme of him being disgusted with my breakdown of Saquon Barkley
and all of the missed tackles that led to his.
Yeah, and Cleveland is challenged. Cleveland is challenged. We got a bet on the table right now. The OKC wins the championship for a pound of ribs. I mean, that's really, by that time I'm gonna be so fat because I already got. I mean, Daniels is gonna win me a pound of ribs. How many pounds did we put on the rookie of the year this year?
Just the one.
Because you were so confident in August. You sure we didn't put like 2 or 3?
Just the one.
You sure?
Yeah.
But yeah, are you gonna come back with some Adrian Peterson highlights or some Barry Sanders highlights showing something better?
It really just depends, Cameron. I mean, I'm still kind of taken aback by just the
what?
Just the soliloquy of chaos he came out with there, man. It was just, blaming everybody.
Show me something different. That's all I want to say. Show me something different. Show me something better. Show me something better than the hurdle backwards.
I mean, you're giving him credit, but at the same time, you're blaming everyone else for not making a tackle. It's weird.
They didn't make the tackle. They didn't put themselves in position. But Saquon executed.
How can the run be that great then? If it's just poor tackling, can't be both.
Oh my goodness, man! Let's see. Let's challenge fans. Let's challenge Cleveland to come up with a better highlight. That's what we challenge is. Don't talk. Saquon has done what he's done. You say you saw something better.
I think we all know that Adrian's run at Pittsburgh is a better run.
Yeah. Show it to me. Fans ain't seen it. They don't know what you're talking about. They don't know what you're talking about.
And they know what I'm talking about.
And UNSB going back and forth with John Morant need to learn a mid-range jumper. Come on, man. You still ain't seen two better layups in that one than the two he had in the same game, by the way.
Well, hey, 6'2", 175-pound dude, keep trying to jump over 7-foot grown-ass man then. See how long that career lasts.
Well, he's had time off. He's had time off. He's fresh. He's been itching to get back on the court and show you what he can do.
Okay, cool.
And he showed you.
Cool. Great.
So, fans, once again, I want to thank you guys for tuning into the Voice of the Fans podcast. We are here every week, every Wednesday night to give you some nice gossip and banner on the world of sports. We play our numbers game at the beginning of the show. We have a This Week in History segment, kind of educate some of you guys on some of what's happened in the past. And then we end the show with a quote. I'm a guy, I like quotes. In the show with a quote, and hopefully kind of motivate you guys, encourage you guys through the rest of the week. Just to be better people and kind of get some of your work done. The quote I have for you guys today, Cleveland, is be the change that you wish to see in the world. Coming off our election that we had last night here in the United States, that not sure how you voted, sir, but a change was needed, and we got a change. Not the change that many of us wanted to see, but the change was needed. And I encourage you all to be the change that you wish to see in the world. And that's from Mahatma Gandhi. Thank you guys for tuning into the Voice of the Fans podcast. Hit us up at _Voice of the Fans during the week if you like our content. If you got a clip of a running back making a better play than what Saquon Barkley did this weekend, please send it to me at _Voice of the Fans. At _Voice of the Fans on Twitter. Cleveland, where can they find you?
At Clevie Wonder, TikTok and Twitter. Cleveland still Instagram.
Help Cleveland out. Help him out. Find Adrian Peterson clip. Find the Barry Sanders highlight. Find the Marshall Faulk highlight. Find Eric Dickerson, Emmitt Smith. Find a highlight of a running back making a better play.
Reggie Bush.
Well, that has to be in college because he didn't do none of that in the NFL. Find a better highlight than Saquon Barkley juking two defenders, then jumping over the third, hurdling the third would-be tackler backwards. Find a better clip. I challenge all you guys, and especially you, Cleveland, because I know you can't find it. You got a week to do it.
And those still photos where you can blame the poor tackling of the defense. Preferably, yeah.
I will play all clips sent to me. I'll break rules again next week. I will play all clips sent to me. Come on. He did not get off we know he didn't get off the ground to hurdle anybody. He was just a bulldog. But again, you show me a clip of a running back making a better play than what Saquon Barkley did this past week. I broke it down to you. I mean, no, the Beast Quake where he ran through the Saints, that was incredible. Either run we had against the Arizona Cardinals, and fantastic, not unbelievable, incredible, absolutely, monstrous, momentum changing. Yes, it was all that. It wasn't a better play than Saquon Barkley juking 3 defenders and hurdling the defender backwards. It wasn't better than that, SB. So you send me a clip at _voice of the fans. I will play it next week. I will break the rules and have my producer pissed off because I broke the rules again. Fans, thank you guys for tuning into the Voice of the Fans podcast. Thank you once again for making our voice your choice.